Director for the Fast Track Racing Series from Beckley Motorsports Park. I'm now joined by the announcer, the voice, and one of the best voices in the state of West Virginia for dirt track racing or any type of racing, period, and a good friend of mine, Mr. Tim Howard from Princeton, West Virginia. Tim, it's time. It's finally here. The countdown's over, buddy.
Hey, it's finally here. It's so glad to have you up here with me, Wesley, in the tower. I tell you, I've been looking forward to this weekend for a long time. The time is upon us. Here we are sitting looking at the speedway. The track looks like it is going to be in some great condition for racing this coming weekend. The weather's beautiful here in Beckley. Blue skies. It's just going to be a great weekend. I can feel it in my bones, Wesley.
Oh, you definitely hit the rev limiter on that. I've had an outstanding day all day today, being able to travel with Lenny Baticki, and we're going to have Lenny Baticki on here a little bit later on the broadcast here for Fast Track Weekly Live, talking about all the great stuff that's happened throughout the weekend for the Fast Track Racing Series. And the first ever televised broadcast to be on Fox Sports in 2013 for the winter in January of 2013. 4 one-hour episodes. And, man, I'll tell you what, the intensity is in the air. This is definitely going to be a special weekend. It is a special weekend already so far.
It is a special weekend. We've got a lot of events lined up for the weekend, and just like you said, this is a great thing not only for dirt track racing to be televised on Fox Sports Network, but it's going to be a great thing for our own little community of Beckley, West Virginia. It's going to put Beckley on the map and Beckley Motorsports Park on the map.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. You're 100% correct on that. Of course, folks, if you look to your right of the screen, you will be able to see my good buddy, Mr. Tim Howard from Princeton, West Virginia. He is joining me in the broadcast booth here high above the 3/8 mile. Fastest 3/8 mile dirt track in the South, as Joe and Billy Joe Jackson like to call it. Drivers meeting going on at the officials trailer right now. Tim Howard, there's a lot of cars in the infield right now in the overflow. Last time I counted before coming up to race control to prepare for the broadcast, over 58.
I know there was quite a few. I took a little walk down through the pit area earlier.
Here comes
and
more
that's what I was
rolling
getting ready to say. I'm sitting here looking at the
up on
entrance
the hill
to the pits, and I see
oh, wow,
trailers still rolling in, Wesley. We're going to fill the pits up for tonight's just practice night.
You know what? I was so nervous coming into this deal, my first ever Fox Sports broadcast, and I'm going to be the play-by-play guy for the deal. And once I got on the camera and done it, man, it was just gone. The nerves was gone. And before you know it, within 2 hours, we had 4 episodes done. The 4 one-hour shows are done. It's amazing when you finally make it up to the network level how fast things can fly by so quickly. I mean, we were up at the top of the hill showing the beautiful Beckley Motorsports Park and its 3/8 mile glory and what is always exciting racing. 15 degrees of banking in 1 and 2, 22 degrees up in 3 and 4, and always some exciting moments there. Cars going through tech and seeing all the haulers rolling in and just being a part of this experience has just been so overwhelming so far today.
I'm still looking towards the road, and I still see more trailers rolling in.
Here comes another one.
They just keep rolling in here. That's the way we like it. We're going to have an awesome weekend. This place is going to be packed with race cars because Beckley being located at its vicinity of an interstate, it's real easy access for the drivers, and it seems like they seem to enjoy coming to this track.
You're definitely correct on that, and of course, it's definitely going to be a big racing weekend as the best of the Fast Track Racing Series from all over the North, South, the Mid-East, the Midwest, all across the region up into Canada, New York. They're just come from all these different regions, and one time a year. Well, maybe if you count the Eldora event, won by Superman Jonathan Davenport, which can I remember by saying that was his first ever national touring win at Eldora Speedway, and what a way to win back at his grassroots, coming back to the Big E, going back to the Fast Track Racing Series at Eldora and winning that event. And that was the weekend of the severe weather that you had hit on Tuesday night about. Definitely. It was on a Friday when we made the trip up to Eldora. The race was Saturday. The light pole got knocked down. All that weather made its way down here.
That's right. I was right here in this tower booth the night that it hit here, and I thought the glass was going to come in on me there several times.
I heard it was a very scary moment. We've got 3 hours. What are we going to talk about tonight, JD? What are we going to talk about, Tim Howard? I
Well,
was thinking about my buddy JD Webb. Normally, he is my executive producer. He actually had to have heart surgery last week, and thoughts and prayers are still with him. Also, thoughts and prayers with Tammy Mullis. She is the general manager of the Cleveland County Speedway. Her mother-in-law, which is basically like her mother, is really, really sick, ill right now. So definitely, please keep her in your thoughts and prayers as well as we continue to have more haulers rolling in. Race weekend is upon us, and it's only Thursday.
that's right. That's right. That's correct, Wesley. We do want to be thankful of and thanking to those that are not able to be with us here this weekend that do so much for this sport and for Fast Track Racing Series. And we do want to send our prayers out to those folks that aren't able to be with us here. But yeah, Wesley, like you said, the trailers, the haulers, they just keep rolling into the pit area. They're lined up once again, and things are looking good.
Yes, of course, we will be having the cars hit the racetrack shortly around 8 o'clock here tonight for hot laps for the Fast Track Pro late models. And how has the season been here at Beckley, Tim? I mean, I understand that this is the big daddy of them all, the World Championship for all the regions, but I know you've had a great 2012 season for what, like this will be the 20th race for Joe and Billy Joe at the helm.
That's correct, Wesley. This will be race number 20. The season started out fantastic, weather cooperating. It was warm from the start, and up until the night of the big storm, everything went perfect. Then when the storm hit, we were kind of rained out that night. The following week, still a lot of locations had no power, so we weren't able to race that week. And then I think the next 2 weeks after that, if I'm not mistaken, it rained. So right in the middle of the season, we had a real long dry spell, you could say, from dirt racing. And but then the season got fired back up. We had some great races. We had several winners this season. We had some first-time winners. It's just been a great season. Great car counts every week.
Absolutely, positively, and it's definitely shaping up to be one awesome weekend. And, of course, we thank everybody in the chat box. A joined effort for the first time ever. For 2 years now, Tim, Fast Track Radio Network has covered all of the Fast Track Weekly live shows, the fastest hour on dirt radio, every Tuesday night with yours truly. And then, of course, also the tape-delayed race broadcast. And I want to let everybody know that the races from here will be tape delayed, not only for the television but also for Fast Track Radio. Like I've done all season long, Tim, we'll go back to the production studio for where I'm good at editing and clipping and pasting instead of the video, just the audio, and it's a lot easy to do also. And without we'll definitely be able to to rock and roll and definitely get the production of the race broadcast. And not only will it be on Fast Track Radio, it's also going to be on ETV Live, online, Auto Sports Entertainment Network, with John Wesley, the executive producer, right now in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's where he's at, home of the Indy 500. He's working and pushing the buttons, making me sound good, making you sound spectacular. And, of course, definitely getting ready for tonight's practice sessions. And we're going to call practice. And you never know, Tim, when they get out there down and dirty, sometimes they kind of bang fenders. And we got cars in the pits that are topless. We got some with their tops on.
We've got all kinds looking at us here tonight, Wesley, and like you said, there might be a little bit of fender rubbing out here in practice. These guys, when they want to get around the corner, they definitely want to get around the corner, and if somebody's kind of maybe partly in the way, they might try to move them just a little bit. So even practice could end up being pretty interesting here tonight.
You can see that Stan Lester right now is looking through the binoculars. Listeners that are tuned in back home or wherever you are on Fast Track Radio and ETV Live Network Radio. Stan Lester, founder and CEO, the man, the visionary of the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country, having a meeting with all of the drivers, the crew members. There's also the Fox production crew out there, video and the drivers meeting, seeing what it's like before we get ready to go to battle here for this event here tonight for just open practice. And, man, what a turnout of cars for just a Thursday night practice session.
That is. It's just an awesome turnout we're getting here tonight. And the cars just keep rolling in. But it's just, it's amazing me, Wesley, that I just didn't think we would have this many cars just for the practice. But I guess I got fooled tonight.
Definitely, definitely. And I'll tell you what, I think it's even shaping up to what's going to be even more and more exciting tomorrow because some of the big names that I know that said they were coming, they didn't even got here yet.
That's exactly right. And some of those
And
big
the locals
names,
I haven't seen have got here yet either.
there's a few locals that may want to just sit home tonight. Who knows? I know we've got some locals I've already seen in the pits. So it's going to be an interesting night. See what kind of lap times these guys are laying down. And track surface looks like it's going to be good. So it really should be a very interesting night.
Talk about this 3/8 mile track, Tim Howard, about the great racing while we are getting ready for, of course, the drivers' meeting to disperse. And then Lenny Baticki will be on the program from Fox Sports. Me and him will be the announcers for the television broadcast, and we'll get his thoughts on things as well before we get started. What's your overall thoughts of this exciting racetrack you call here every Friday night, Beckley Motorsports Park?
In my opinion, it is a great little speedway. It's got some wide straights on it and got some good wide banked turns. There's more, almost you could say, 2 lanes all the way around the track, and it's not unusual to see them going 3 wide. I have even seen 4 wide on occasion in the corners, as long as everybody keeps up with what they're doing and they make it out the other side okay. But it is a really great speedway for a little 3/8 mile track. These cars turn some pretty high speeds around through here. And for the folks that's never been to Beckley, the pits are located off of the Turn 2 area of the speedway. And it's a large pit area. And then the drivers can make their way down in here onto the track off of the Turn 2 entrance, and the exit of the speedway is in the Turn 1 side. So kind of give you a little idea of what the speedway layout is. Track has a little more banking in turns 3 and 4 than it does in 1 and 2. But again, it's still usually 2 great grooves. Cars can usually get around working the low side real well, and others have been known to just scrub the guardrails all the way around on the outside, the high line. And those guys, they're the ones that sometimes get it done, but every now and then the guy that's running the low side will figure out a way to get it to the ground, and he'll be the one to come out victorious. So we've had winners coming from working all the different aspects of the track.
Definitely want to remind everybody, you could, of course, go online to www.facebook.com to put in Fast Track Racing Series, our official Fast Track corporate account on Facebook. We're also on the Tweet Flock World, twitter.com/fasttrack_racing. And, of course, definitely you can tune into fasttrackracing.com, www.fasttrackracing.com. Click Fast Track Radio, and, of course, you can be able to hear the Fast Track Weekly Live show every Tuesday night, and, of course, also delayed race broadcast coverage. Haulers, Tim Howard, are still rolling in. Man, this is unbelievable.
It is, Wesley. They're still rolling in. Won't be long. We'll have some cars.
This is probably
the
best practice session I think I've ever going to be able to announce.
Exactly. We're not used to just announcing a practice session, but it is going to be awesome here tonight.
Hey, by the way, to remind you also, again, big thanks to FK Rodians, Maria Margiola, and FK Rodians for what they do. www.fkrodians.com. And Jason and Judy Short of Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you, take the short way home. They're located in Withville, Virginia. Maria and FK sponsors are for the second year running our Fast Track Radio Network coverage that we do, as well as now for the first time on ETV Live Radio. But this special venture, Jason and Judy Short, just very well-respected individuals, and they're well-respected also, and a big fan of dirt track racing, but most importantly, the Fast Track Series, and they have also helped make this thing happen here with Fast Track Radio and ETV Live online Autosports Entertainment Network. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful night setting up to be the sunset upon us. Tim Howard, give a radio view of what this place looks like right now in the mountains of West Virginia.
That's exactly, you said it right there, the mountains of West Virginia. You look out around the horizon, and that's what you see is mountains. And we've got some beautiful red clouds in the distance. And what's that saying? Red clouds at night, sailor's delight.
Red
So
clouds at night, sailor's delight, and red clouds in the morning, sailor better take warning. And I know there's a hurricane out there in the Atlantic, but it's far, far away from us. We're going to be all right. We're going to get this thing in tonight.
that's exactly right. I think the weather's looking great for us. And again, looking out over the hillsides, you see such a beautiful view from right here at Beckley. The mountains west of West Virginia are just spectacular for those folks that have never been visiting our great state here, but you definitely want to come by sometime and visit. And when you get to West Virginia, you definitely want to stop on Friday night right here at Beckley Motorsports Park.
So many great things are going on. We're only in the first, not even the half hour, as the drivers' meeting still continues here for the Fast Track Racing Series as they get ready to go coast to coast. They've come from all over, and even Canada, to go at it for open practice. Some have their tops, some don't. No, I don't mean they're running around with their shirts off. They're topless. The hoods are off the cars. Bottom line, or the roofs are, not the hoods. They're going to blow the roof off this place whenever we get to it on Friday and Saturday night. Friday night fights, twin 40 lappers. The top 20 go on to the A main. If you're in the top or the top 20, go on to the Fast Track World Championship qualifying round on Saturday. And then, of course, if you are in the top 3 at one of the 24 weekly tracks, then you can also transfer in. But not only that, then on Saturday, the racing really, really heats up with, of course, the qualifying hot laps, the Conti for not only the Fast Track World Championship, but also the weekly World Challenge for the first time ever. And again, 24 cars will start the A mains. When it's all said and done, one driver is going to walk away with a total of $22,000 if they win just those 2 races. Of course, you can win prize money from the other 2,000 win purses for the night before at Friday night fights when they're topless. And in addition, Speed Energy Drink Pole qualifying going to be giving away some money. So there's chances to make money all through the field here this weekend, Tim.
That's exactly right. And if I know a lot of these drivers down here, that's what it's all about. They're after that dollar, and they're going to just get everything out of those cars they can get this weekend and see if they can be the one to walk home with that $22,000.
We are going to take a quick commercial break. We'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, everybody that makes it happen. And, of course, again, big thanks to Maria Margiola and FK Rodians for all of their hard work. But first, a word from Jason and Judy Short's company, Short Ray Real Estate, reminding you to take that short way home. And instead of making the short way home, come on up here to Almost Heaven, West Virginia, the words of the song by John Denver. A beautiful sight here tonight as open practice is just set, less to begin in 40 minutes. From Beckley Motorsports Park, this is Fast Track Weekly Live. More right after the break. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, conveniently located off of intersection I-81 and I-77 in Wytheville, Virginia. Services all of Southwest Virginia in residential, farms, recreational, and commercial properties. The company is owned by Jason and Judy Short. Judy has been in the real estate market for over 15 years and is the broker of Shortway Real Estate. And they have 2 of the top agents in Southwest Virginia. Their goal is simple: to provide the best customer service and build business on repeat clients. You can get pre-approvals in less than 20 minutes. They have many properties located on over 300 websites nationwide. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customer service guaranteed. And guess what? Licensed in Virginia, they can show you any property listed in the Commonwealth state. They're located at 1205 East Main Street in Wytheville, Virginia. For more details, call 276-223-4018. That's 276-223-4018. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you, take the short way home. Drivers still beginning to go through the drivers' meeting as, again, we're getting ready for open practice here in just a couple of moments. From Beckley Motorsports Park, this is the Fast Track World Championship Open Practice Special Fast Track Weekly Live on Fast Track Radio Network and ETV Live online Auto Sports Entertainment Network.
Owens, Moyer, Burkoffer, Mars, and Davenport all get dirty with FK.
Jimmy Owens wins!
FK Rod Ends is a family-owned American manufacturing company supporting the racing world for 25 years, as their rod ends have helped some of the nation's best dirt late model drivers find victory lane too many times to count.
Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals champion Billy Moyer!
Dedicated to quality, FK is your answer in the rod end game. So why wait? Get dirty with FK.
For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. FK Rodians sponsors all broadcasts on the Fast Track Radio Network.
Now, race fans, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please join us in paying tribute to those who have been lost to this dreadful disease and to those who are fighting it still today. Wear some pink to the World Championship in Beckley, West Virginia this weekend and during the rest of October to promote awareness. Fast Track Companies International proudly supports the Susan G. Komen for a Cure Foundation in its quest to promote early detection and treatment and finally to find a cure to breast cancer. Go to www.susangkomen.org to join the race for a cure. Now back to the Fast Track Weekly Live, presented by FK Rod Ends on Fast Track Radio Network, the fastest hour on dirt radio. We now return to the Fast Track Shack with your host, Wesley Outland, the voice of the premier pro late model series in the country, the Fast Track Racing Series.
Hey, welcome back to the program. It is, of course, Fast Track Weekly Live, a special Fast Track Weekly Live on location from Beckley Motorsports Park. Tim Howard back here in the booth with me. And Tim, again, it looks like the drivers' meeting has dispersed. We're getting ready, buddy, to have these cars, some with the roofs on, some topless, as they'll get ready for Friday night fights tomorrow night for the Twin 40 Lappers here for the Fast Track Racing Series. Practice is ready to begin here in just about 34 minutes, 36 minutes actually.
That's exactly right. But I look to my left over here towards the pit entrance, and I still see car haulers rolling down the entrance road. But yes, I do see the drivers have left the meeting area, the Fast Track trailer, headed back to their pits, so they'll be getting buckled in and like you said, whether they're topless or not, but ready to hit the speedway and see what they've got for this weekend.
And, of course, welcome back to Fast Track Weekly Live, presented by FK Rod Ends and Shortway Real Estate Incorporated. Special coverage from the Beckley Motorsports Park. Tim, what a beautiful sunset we have here tonight. I mean, this is just beautiful, beautiful weather in October, the first week in October, and what great conditions for the rest of the weekend for the 2012 $250,000 Fast Track World Championship.
Oh, I tell you, beautiful weather to go with that beautiful total purse. But again, Wesley, it is beautiful right here tonight. This weather's been spectacular. It's beautiful, sunshiny day to day, and it's just all holding through into the night. I see a few, I guess that's geese flying over the speedway, but we'll see if they make a hard left turn when they get down about the end of the front stretch here.
Now, don't let them do that.
But again, it is a beautiful weekend in store. I think the extended forecast is looking pretty good. So it's just going to be a great weekend. What a way for us to close out this season right here at Beckley Motorsports Park with the World Championships.
And, of course, as you know, Joe and Billy Joe Jackson, the promoters, husband and wife, gathered it. September, like the 9th, the 14th was going to be their final weekend.
That's exactly right.
They were going to pack it up. They were going to be done. And then they got the call from Fast Track founder and CEO Stan Lester to take the chance on this big event in wild and wonderful West Virginia. And the hype, the momentum has just been so big in the other states, like where I live in North Carolina, in Georgia, and all the parts of the other states of people showing response. Tuesday night on the radio show, we had people from Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, you know, being on and listening and winning tickets. What has the morale been in the response of being in West Virginia?
everybody I've talked to is just thrilled to death to have it here in Beckley. It's just a great venue for dirt racing right here at this speedway, but it's a new speedway for a lot of these drivers. I know we have our regulars that's here quite often, but some of these guys have never been on Beckley Speedway, and actually a lot of them's probably not used to 3/8 mile. They're more used to the half-mile tracks, and that's what's going to make this weekend a little more interesting, I think, with a lot of the guys that's not really familiar with Beckley is figuring out this 3/8 mile.
Absolutely, and I want you to invite your friends and your family. I know we've got a bunch of race teams from all over the United States and even Canada, the North South, the Mid East, the Mid Ohio Valley, the Southeast, the Great Lakes region, up to the New York area, and of course into Canada. If you got friends or family back home that cannot be here and they want to kind of hear how your successes is going, drivers and teams for practice here tonight, text them, get the word out. Fast Track Weekly Live, special edition tonight from Beckley from 7 to 10. We're right now just coming up on a half past the hour of our first hour of 3. Now, instead of the fastest hour on Dirt Radio, Tim, it's the 3 fastest hour on Dirt Radio for the World Championship weekend.
That's right, the 3 fastest hours tonight. And but yeah, you can go to Facebook. I know we've got all kinds of Facebook fans out there, and find the.
I am trying to do the social as we speak.
There you
doing
go.
the show, I'm
Multitasking Wesley.
I guess you could call it triple tasking if you call trying to keep a little water going as well.
Got to keep
drink.
yourself.
Exactly, but Tim, talk about how this track is and how exciting it is. We were doing the opening camera shots for Fox Sports, me and Linda Baticki earlier for again the first ever a milestone being set, many milestones being set. This deal with Fast Track Radio on the Ustream channel and hooking up with the ETV folks with 6 different servers, and that's one thing I can promise you. When you get to a certain amount on our regular account, people start being bumped off, or it fills the server and lagging issues. Not with these guys. They got 6 different servers. You can download it on your apps. You can listen on your laptop, your desktop. You put the apps on your smartphone, your BlackBerry, your iPhone, Android, whichever. Of course, you get the Ustream app as well. Of course, it's on Ustream, ETV, HD Radio Network, iTunes Radio, Tuned In Radio, and Windows Media Guide. And definitely you can go to all of those 6 different links to tune into this program. And according to the executive producer, can I call you that? Magic Fingers, Fast Track John Wessling. He says, yep, all good. Everything is great. A lot of great listeners, and definitely enjoying everything. And he is in Indiana right now, manning the boards for us for not only what's going on for ETV, but the Ustream Fast Track, and of course here at Beckley. So a lot of hype, a lot of activity, and brought in portable lights to light up this facility, and it looks like they definitely have done their job. This place looks a lot brighter here tonight.
Yes, it does. I think a lot of the brightness is related to the fresh white paint that Joe and Billy Joe have laid onto the guardrails and the barriers around the speedway. It's sprucing the place up just a little bit, because after the long season we had, they tend to look a little bit, I won't say shabby, but they've shown they've been raced on. But I tell you right now, it looks like it's the first race of the season. Looking down here at the pretty fresh white paint on all these walls.
Said he was ready to give ready this weekend to get a Beckley stripe down there on that racetrack. A famous Beckley stripe would be what many drivers don't want to get, but you never know, Tim Howard. It could happen, and it can happen in the exciting world of dirt track racing, especially fast track style.
And I'm going to say it will happen, because my bet, the first black mark on the wall will be right off of the turn 2 area. That's my prediction.
You believe so?
I think they'll come off of turn 2 high, and somebody's going to put a black mark down that wall. But it's just, this track yields some great racing, and we've got some great drivers. We've got the greatest drivers, I'm going to say, on the whole eastern United States. I think we have at least maybe like 14 states and 2 countries represented with us this weekend. So we've got drivers from all over right here in our quaint little Beckley, West Virginia.
I'll tell you what, I'm just ready to hear that motor fire up. One of those powerful 602, 604 crate engines from Chevrolet Performance Power under the plan of these machines and these warlords and the kaleidoscope of the different colors. And we got to mention the pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Fastrak Racing Series and everybody at Fastrak Companies International would like to remind you to do your part in helping to fight this dreadful disease, this dreadful illness that has really taken the lives of many, many great women all over the country. And, of course, do your part. Join Fastrak's Race for the Cure. Go to susangcoman.org to find out how you can help. Tim?
Yes, I walked through the pits, as I was saying earlier, Wesley, and it was great to see how many race cars have pink on them this weekend. They've some of them, they've even altered their entire paint scheme in pink. Others have just added some pink. There's pink ribbons on cars. There's pink spoilers. But these drivers and teams are just showing their respect and how they want to do all they can to help. So we're so glad to see all the pink down in the pit area.
Definitely. And, of course, there's also many different race teams that have had the situation happen, Tim, of a loved one going through breast cancer and situations of that such. Matter of fact, speaking of the devil, yesterday my wife's friend come to the house, and she was going through some other personal things in her life. Now, I'm not going to mention, but one of the things she did disclose to be so stressful and upset was that her mother was just diagnosed with breast cancer. So this definitely needs to be something that needs to be ceased and halted immediately. We need to raise as much money as possible, and everybody join in to do your part to help find a cure in that dreadful disease of breast cancer that takes so many women. It might have even took somebody's mother, grandmother, sister, daughter, aunt, anybody, even a friend that's
right.
been in the broadcast.
It affects, so many families, and no family is, guaranteed not to be involved because it could just strike at any time. And we're so fortunate to bring out the awareness and help for more research to help fight breast cancer. And, we just all want to do all we can do. And, for all types of cancer, not only just breast cancer, but all types of cancer, because you never know when it's going to strike, and it can strike home at any time. So, again, I just want to say how thankful I am to see all that pink on those race cars down there.
Definitely correct on that. Of course, we are less than 26 minutes. And, of course, not only are they listening on 6 different servers around the country, thanks to ETV Live and, of course, our Fast Track Radio Network link, but also all over the public address system around the racetrack, fans in the grandstands, in the overflow. They know when we call for them. So fans that are tuned into the broadcast on Fast Track Weekly Live, when you hear the call for me to give that command for those drivers to come to the staging lanes and bring them up and get them on the racetrack, you'll know just as fast as the fans in the stands will know as well. So definitely all of the listeners back at home, wherever you are, we appreciate you being here tonight. 15 degrees into turn 1 and 2, 24 degrees or 22 degrees up in 3 and 4. Talk about precision banking, because that's basically what it's like here at Beckley Motorsports Park, and a tight bull ring. I know the first time that I came here was in August of last year. You invited me, as a matter of fact, because it was the week before the UBB first ever race at Princeton. And, of course, that was another fast track facility that had shut down earlier in the year. But, you told me, Wesley, to get around this place, you got to drive this track like a circle. And I was like, nah, come on, you got to drive it. It's kind of like the oval. Not the case. These guys drive it like they're going in 360.
That's it. They're almost constantly in a corner, because when they come off of 2, they're already thinking about setting it in 3. They don't have any time to enjoy a little breath of fresh air while they go down the straight stretch, because that little breath of fresh air is going to be a real quick one, because it's already time to set it into turn 3, because 3 and 4 are tight little turns, and before you know it, you're already back onto the front stretch. And again, you're almost constantly in a corner. So that's why I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of the drivers that's not familiar with Beckley Speedway, but I've seen it in the past. In fact, earlier this season at a fast track event we had here, we had a driver show up had never even been to Beckley, West Virginia before in his life. He climbed in an AMRA open wheel car he'd never seen in his life and came down here and, I might say, whooped the locals. He won the race, won the feature that night, but it was Kenny Wallace. So any driver, if he's good, he'll figure this place out. And I got a feeling we've got a whole bunch of drivers that I will consider good, and they're all going to figure this place out here tonight, I'm sure.
You know, it's kind of strange because yesterday I was doing the fast track PR, and I looked at my wife and I said, "It feels like Friday to me," and she said, "It does feel like Friday because you're packing up and you're leaving and you're going on the road." And I was like, "But it's only hump day. It's only Wednesday, But this is this is one of the biggest events ever for the Fast Track Racing Series. It is gonna. I promise you, people that are tuning into the broadcast and those in the stands and in the overflow and the pits. And I'm gonna tell you what, Joe and Billy Joe informed me that the fans really took advantage of that $10 ticket. Not to just be in the grandstand, but you get to pay $10 and you could go in the pits. You can shake, meet and greet with the drivers, have pictures made. You could stand beside your favorite race car driver's, machine and have pictures made with that. Definitely an experience unlike any other for only $10. You can't beat that.
No, that's a great deal anywhere. $10 to get in the pits, and like you said, they can just mill around and associate with all their favorite drivers, and I'm sure some of them's going to probably get some autographs. I think a lot of these drivers probably have some of their merchandise for sale with them, and they can hook up their fans, and it's going to be spectacular. I see some more lights going to be fired up here in the infield, so that's going to light everything up just a little bit more, and we're going to have some cars out here on the Speedway very shortly, Wesley.
Definitely correct on that. We're definitely in T-minus countdown mode. We're running out of things to really talk about. But no, there definitely is a lot of things to talk about. How about David Smith, the 2012? And well,
I was going to say we can talk about more car haulers coming in.
Look, it's lined up at the top of the hill. That's the best description I can give people that are tuned in, listening to Fast Track Weekly Live. Tim Howard. There is a line of traffic all the way down the hill, and they're race haulers coming in.
Exactly. Here it is Thursday night, just practice night. And these guys, I'd say these that are rolling in here now have probably been on the road since they got off work a little early today, or maybe didn't even work today. By the time they made the trip to Beckley, they're just now getting here. So they're going to get them unloaded and do some testing on this speedway tonight and see if they can figure out this old girl.
I'd like to send a shout out, and if you have any friends or drivers that you're rooting for, they can hear you. The broadcast is playing over the PA system, as well as those listening on the 6 different networks across the globe. And right now, we are talking about shout outs for folks. I would like to send a shout out to the man that we just hooked up with last night. He does do the Monday night show with me. Or have me do the Monday night show on his network, but they are excited to have the Fast Track program tonight too. HD Radio Network, Phil Foltz is listening, loving what he hears, says he wish he could be here in West Virginia. And by the way, if there's somebody listening and you can get to West Virginia, to Beckley Motorsports Park, you better pack your bags and you better do it right now because we still got cars rolling in the gate. Here comes more.
That's exactly right. They just keep rolling in. I tell you, everybody is, the word's out, Wesley. Everybody knows where to be this weekend. It's Beckley Motorsports Park, and they're starting to just roll in. They said they had drivers lined up at the gate this morning, I think around 6 o'clock, thereabouts this morning, already ready to come in. So I think that got Billy Joe's workday started a little earlier than she anticipated. But I'll tell you, I want to commend the work that they have done to just put this event together, and with Stan Lester and the whole team from Fast Track to put this whole weekend together, and it's all coming to a head tonight.
That's definitely correct on that. And, of course, we will, well, countdown clock going down, and we are tension in the pits. We are 18 minutes away to hot laps getting started. 18 minutes, and yes, you can see some of these drivers rolling their cars around in the pit area. By the way, please, be on the lookout for oncoming traffic. Can I give you your Beckley Motorsports Park traffic update? There's going to be a lot of activity, cars coming left and right, different areas coming off the overflow. Please be responsible. Watch your visuals at all times. Definitely don't turn your back to any of these cars. Don't want anybody to get hurt out there. Definitely just please pay attention when you're inside the pits, Tim Howard.
That's exactly right. Safety is number one, and that's one thing we do want to stress. Just keep your eyes open because occasionally the drivers maybe or may not have something else on their mind. Maybe their car's giving them a problem, and who knows, but always make sure you leave yourself a little getaway space when you're in that pits walking around.
Definitely. And, of course, I'll tell you what do you say we take a quick commercial break? Yeah, John says don't run. Yeah, definitely. Don't want anybody to get run over, people said. Hey, again, as I was saying about John Wessling, oh, wow. Did you see how bright it just got from the light, the portable light that's in the infield?
I think the sun just came up again.
Definitely. One thing I want to explain, and we'll talk about it through the broadcast, and we have Lenny Baticki on the phone here later on. He can explain it as well. The bottom line is you got to let there be light. Bottom line.
That's it.
For television cameras, because there is a professional crew coming in here. Conrad, Mario, they're already here. Candace Blanchard, myself, Lenny Baticki, all of the camera crew. It is a total effort to do this. You have got to have the proper lighting is the number one thing. And Joe and Billy Joe have made a valiant effort to light this place up. Light up Beckley. The light bill might be expensive when it's said and done, but it's all worth it for this televised first ever event for the Fast Track Racing Series on Fox Sports.
The electric meter here at this place reminds me of the one in the Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's about to spin
the
off
nuclear
its
alarm's
disc.
about to go off.
It. But yes, it's just going to be great, and it is lit up. That's for sure. So there should not be any visibility issues for the drivers on the speedway.
No problem whatsoever for anybody. As again, definitely we appreciate you all tuning in and listening all over the country here on Fast Track Radio Network and ETV Live Online, Auto Sports Entertainment Network. I am again Wesley Outland. Tim Howard is here. Lenny Baticki will be joining us here in just a bit via Cellcast about what the great things have gone on to prepare for this event. And again, we appreciate everybody for listening. If you got any drivers that you want to send a shout out to, hey, put it in the chat box. I can see it. Let me know who you are, where you're from. They can hear it as well. And I'll tell you what, the excitement picking up as we are less than now 15 minutes to practice for the Fast Track Racing Series.
Oh, that's a countdown I've been waiting for. We're less than the 15 minutes now. We're going to see some of these Prolate crates out here, the premier Prolate crates of Fast Track on the track. And it's been a long time coming to Beckley, West Virginia, and actually a short time coming when we just found out a month ago we were going to have it. But
yes,
we're just so honored to have it right here at Beckley Motorsports Park.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and speaking of the power that'll be inside those hoods of those cars whenever they get started here later on tonight, here's a word from the fine folks at Chevy Performance and the proud sponsor of our Southeast Mideast Touring Division, the City Chevrolet Touring Division. And again, congratulations also to Inman, South Carolina's Hollywood David Smith on winning that championship in 2012. More Fast Track Weekly Live on location for a special show presented by FK Rod-Ends and Shortway Real Estate Incorporated. We'll be right back right after this.
GM Performance parts are under every hood in Fast Track competition. GM Performance parts. When performance really counts, count on GM Performance parts. Found in major parts stores all over the country.
City Chevrolet is the race fan's friend with great low price deals every day on quality cars, trucks, and vans. Visit City Chevrolet online today at citychevrolet.com for an unbeatable online deal on a new or used Chevy vehicle. City Chevrolet, centrally located in the heart of racing country on Highway 74 in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. The little drive that saves race fans a lot.
Race fans, before we begin our Fast Track World Championship weekend, we would like to send our condolences to the friends and family of Bob Newton. Bob Newton was the founder of Hoosier Racing Tires along with his wife Joyce. And again, Hoosier is the official tire of the Fast Track Racing Series.
The sense of pride and craftsmanship goes into every tire we make. You can just feel it. And it doesn't matter if the tire's for a world-class race team or a Saturday night short track driver trying to make it to the big time. The same pride and quality and craftsmanship goes into each and every tire we make.
You can measure the success when the checkered flag falls. When it falls on a Hoosier tire, there's a lot of proud people that were involved in making that.
Bob and Joyce Newton built their family business on a commitment to produce tires of the highest quality. They went beyond the standards of the day to create a higher standard that would keep them reaching for higher levels of performance. Today, hundreds of Hoosier Tire employees help them meet those standards and exceed them every day.
I believe we truly do produce tires designed for champions.
We make racing tires, and we want Hoosier to make the best.
Hoosier Tire. Tires designed for champions.
Join me, Wesley Outland, the voice of Fast Track Racing Series, each and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for Fast Track Weekly Live, presented by FK Audience on the Fast Track Radio Network. Each week, we will have all the racing news and happenings in the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country of the Fast Track universe, as well as in-depth interviews and the movers and shakers of the Fast Track Racing Series. You can join us with your questions by logging on to fasttrackracing.com and clicking the Fast Track Radio button at the top of the page. Again, that's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Fast Track Weekly Live on the Fast Track Radio Network, the fastest hour on dirt radio. Get ready October 4th, 5th, and 6th, Beckley Motorsports Park in West Virginia for the televised $250,000 Fast Track World Championships. Go to fasttrackracing.com and beckleymotorsports.com for all racing information. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, conveniently located off of intersection I-81 and I-77 in Withville, Virginia, services all of Southwest Virginia in residential, farms, recreational, and commercial properties. The company is owned by Jason and Judy Short. Judy has been in the real estate market for over 15 years and is the broker of Shortway Real Estate, and they have two of the top agents in Southwest Virginia. Their goal is simple: to provide the best customer service and build business on repeat clients. You can get pre-approvals in less than 20 minutes. They have many properties located on over 300 websites nationwide. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customer service guaranteed. And guess what? Licensed in Virginia, they can show you any property listed in the Commonwealth state. They're located at 1205 East Main Street in Withville, Virginia. For more details, call 276-223-4018. That's 276-223-4018. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you, take the short way home. Welcome back to Beckley Motorsports Park and, of course, Fast Track Radio Network coverage of Fast Track Weekly Live, as well as on 6 different networks tonight on the ETV Live Online Auto Sports Entertainment Network. Get it on your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry. And, of course, we are less than 10 minutes away to practice for the Fast Track Racing Series. It's coming up here. The best drivers from throughout the country. I just saw a couple moments ago the 2011 Fast Track Rookie of the Year getting ready to go through technical inspection out of Landrum, South Carolina. The Ice Water now became the Iceman, Jordan Dill. Jordan Dill in his second year full-time with the Fast Track Racing Series. Tim Howard getting ready to go down there. Tim, I'll tell you what, buddy, if you can find some fans and mingle with them and talk to them and see if they want to get their thoughts about this big racing weekend. Is there any fans out there that would love to have their thoughts out about what they think of the race here at Beckley? How about it? Yeah, I see some people cheering and clapping and all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll get them, Tim.
I'm going to find some people to talk to, and before it's over with, I'm going to find some drivers to talk to. So I think I'm going to start getting some exercise.
Absolutely. Tim Howard is going to start making his way down there and getting words with the drivers, with fans. Maybe he can try to grab, I'll tell you what, really plug Miss Mary Kay and the souvenir trailer, all the great stuff that they have over there for this weekend's Fast Track World Championship weekend with the sweatshirts and, of course, the brand new T-shirts, too. And I like the one you're sporting that says Beckley Motorsports Park Fast Track World Championship on it. I like that. Tim Howard getting ready to make his way on down there. He'll be queuing in here a little bit later. Again, we are getting set to go with practice. It is set to go here in just a couple of moments as countdown clock is now down to like 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Final track prep work going on as we speak. And, of course, they'll be ready to head on to the racetrack as, right now, last time I had counted, and, of course, there's been a lot more haulers that have rolled in here, Tim Howard. We were up at about 58, 59, and up. Looks like there goes a couple more haulers going up on the hill as well.
Every time I look, I see more haulers.
Definitely, definitely. Maybe he's going to try to catch a word, Tim is, while he makes his way down there to the pit area and try to catch words with the drivers. He's also going to try to talk to the race fans and get a word with them. Tim, you got anything?
Not yet, but I'll find somebody.
Absolutely. Definitely. He's got his mic on, and he'll be ready to catch somebody. And, of course, whenever he does, we'll be ready to cue him up and get the word, of course.
I think I found somebody that's here quite often.
Go ahead, my friend.
What do you think about having this weekend?
I think it's going to be a nice track tonight. And we want these people to get started.
I tell you, it's only going to be about 7 more minutes.
Hey, they need to turn that mic down.
Yeah, of course, they'll be ready to go here in about, 6 minutes or so. And they'll be ready to go here in just a moment. Yes, there was a little bit of feedback on Tim's sure mic. And definitely ready to go here with open practice here in just a couple of moments. Tim, again, I remind you, buddy, when you're not talking, please cut your mic off so we don't have any feedback issues. Please cut that mic off. And, again, of course, he'll be also making his way through the pits and finding drivers to talk with. And we'll be ready to go here very, very shortly with the Fast Track Racing Series, the best drivers in the land ready to go here for the Fast Track World Championship weekend. And, of course, open practice tonight, tomorrow night, topless late models. And, of course, they're going to race with the roofs off the cars. You'll be able to see a better view of the drivers when they're driving these machines. You'll be able to see the metal bars in front of their, cockpit to keep metal parts and dirt clods and things flying in and hitting the drivers, keeping them safe. And, of course, definitely you can even see they start to bumping and banging with one another. You can kind of see them maybe kind of say, hey, man, clench his fist. I don't like you doing that to me. Or, maybe something else. Or maybe might give him a high five or the #1 fan sign as well. So, Tim Howard, let's go down to you, down in the grandstands, I guess, with another race fan.
I've got a race fan. Definitely a race fan. Sir, tell me where you're from.
Syracuse, New York.
Wow.
Syracuse, New York. What brings you to Beckley?
I've never been here, so I came down to check it out.
Oh, we're so glad to have you here. He's got his Fast Track shirt on. He's ready for some racing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, of course, from Syracuse, New York, from the Empire State. He is from right now. And I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to go for just a couple more minutes away. Open practice will get started for the Fast Track World Championship weekend from Syracuse, New York. Man, I'll tell you what, they got that Super Dirt Week deal going up there this weekend. This man decided to come here to where the real racing action is going to be with the Fast Track Racing Series here for the World Championship. And the man from New York in the grandstands, thank you so much, man, for coming up here, sir, and being a part of this great racing extravaganza as we get ready. Got a chat room question. And what is the chat room question, John Westling? We'll have that here in just a moment if you want to pass that along to me here in the box. Chat room question coming in. And, of course, we will definitely be answering any questions anybody has in the chat room. Tim Bennett is in the chat room, and his question is wants to know how many cars are there on the track. And Tim Bennett also wants to know if the race has sold out. Tim Howard, can you give us an update on that, buddy?
What was that? I didn't hear the question, Wesley.
Hey, again, Tim, they wanted to know how many cars are so far in the for practice tonight. Of course, the last time I counted, it was like 58 cars before the rest of the other haulers rolled in. And Tim Bennett also wants to know, has the race tickets sold out yet for this weekend?
Actually, I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I did, last count I heard was right around 60 cars in the pit so far, but they're still rolling in. And to your second question, good question.
Definitely. Well, you do the math. I think I counted like 58 cars by the time I came up to race control to do the Fast Track Weekly live show here tonight. And, of course, probably there's been about 6 or 7 other haulers that have rolled in and even more coming in behind that. And, probably around 60 or so. We'll find out because every driver, remember, you must have a transponder on your car. You must have a transponder on your car as, we are definitely getting ready for open practice here. And I'd like to say hello to Bruce in the chat. Says hello, worker at Cleveland County Speedway. Hope you're enjoying the program here tonight. And again, Jessica James, big shout out to you as well. Hope you're enjoying the racing action here at Beckley Motorsports Park, as she just sent me a message from the grandstand. She's in the grandstand enjoying the action here of open practice. Probably tuned in on her app, her iPhone, and enjoying the excitement as we get ready to go here in just a moment. And Tim Howard making his way on down there. Somewhere amongst the action is Tim Howard, and we'll throw it to him here in just a moment. And, of course, it's coming up on 8 o'clock, so we should be ready to go here very, very shortly with the hot lap sessions to get underway for the Fast Track Pro Late Models here tonight at Beckley Motorsports Park. We are now going to go to our phone lines, our FK Rod-Ins phone lines, and we will now bring on to the program a man that I've been working with all day long, sweating it out in the sun, working on the camera stuff to prepare for the first ever milestone for the Fast Track Racing Series and its first ever televised broadcast on Fox Sports. And Lenny Baticki on the road somewhere on I-77 from Davidson, North Carolina. John Davidson, the cameraman, also has been in here doing photos and helping us out throughout the weekend, throughout the day today as well. We'll talk to him in just a couple of moments.
Lenny Baticki.
Lenny Baticki, it's Wesley Outland and Fast Track Weekly live from Beckley Motorsports Park. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Had a fabulous day out there. Can't believe the size of this event. Every time we looked up, there were 6, 8, 10, more and more of the just show rigs coming from everywhere, pulled into the parking lot. This event is going to be a monster. It'll be a record setter.
Absolutely. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, on the program right now is Lenny Baticki from Davidson, North Carolina. He is going to be the host and working with me as I do play-by-play for the first ever Fast Track Racing Series telecast to air in the winter month of January 2013. There will be 4 one-hour episodes, and I know Stan Lester made the announcement. Everybody's so excited about it. There's been so much hype from press releases and doing the radio show, and we definitely got the chance to knock out a lot of things for pre-production today, Lenny.
Well, we were fortunate. Everybody is so good to work with. We were able to have drivers on from the Northeast, from the Southern Series. We just had such a bunch of great people that we were able to get comments about. And then throughout the weekend to work in some more of them. And then when we piece together these shows in the editing, I think folks will really get a flavor of the great event that Fast Track folks put on for the World Challenge and the World Championship. And then, Katie bar the door, we get this one, behind us. And who knows what Stan and the company will put together for 2013. But more and more and more, we say check those local listings when it starts to come out. Gather the friends, have that big winter party around the television, and watch the show and email and tweet your thoughts so that these sponsors know that you appreciate them for putting together this with Stan Lester and the Fast Track folks. That we got a humdinger of a show. We do nothing more than put up an old black and white camera and look down at this racetrack this weekend. It's going to be something. The way this facility is, Wesley, just lends itself to great racing, and to capture that on television for the folks across the country and really across the world, it's going to be an awesome thing.
May I have your attention, please, in the pit area? Attention, please, in the pit area. I need the street stocks. Please line up the staging, please, for hot laps for your practice sessions. Once again, I need the street stocks. Please get to staging for your practice session. Again, Linda Baticki on the show with us here, Fast Track Weekly Live, as we go into hour number 2 of our 3-hour extravaganza from Beckley Motorsports Park, presented by FK Rod-Ins and Shortway Real Estate Incorporated. Lenny, I'll tell you what, so much work that you would think would go into doing these things, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but the things we did today that people would say, oh, it takes forever to do, we knocked it out in less than 2 hours. Basically, we did all 4 episodes in less than 2 hours of doing production here.
Well, we had a great crew come in from Asheville that's done a number of different events. And when you work with good people, it's just like any of the teams that strung their way throughout the pit area. If you've got a good crew chief, a good chassis man, a good motorman, all of a sudden the drivers start to look like heroes. And that's what they did for us. It was really fun. We're going through a tunnel, so if we lose you, you'll have to give us a ring right back. But, man, what a time.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, Lenny, I'll tell you what, buddy, we'll let you go. We're getting ready to go for practice, and maybe we'll call you back here in a little bit because you got a long ride back to North Carolina.
Glad to be on and appreciate all that you and Fast Track do. And nice to hear Timmy up on the radio as well down there in the pits working hard.
Absolutely. That's Lenny Baticki. We might try to give him a call back here later on as, again, he is getting ready to go through the tunnel. I think about to cross back into the Commonwealth state of Virginia. Lenny Baticki will try to give him a ring back here as the call has been made. Street stock cars. Street stocks be making your way to staging. Street stocks be making your way to staging. And Tim Howard, I'll tell you what's the atmosphere like inside the pits right now here at Beckley Motorsports Park, sir? Okay, we'll get ready to go here. We'll throw it to Tim here in just a moment. I guess he's going to get in place, and I know he's going to definitely try to get some driver interviews and talk to different people out there in the infield and the pits. And, of course, we're ready for those Fast Track Pro late models to come onto the racetrack. And, ladies and gentlemen, as I say that, here they come. The Fast Track Pro late models. Ready to go on the racetrack. Kyle Lucan to the number 1 car. Jeff Curtin out of Swano, Wisconsin, the cheesesteak. How many Packers fans do we got in the house? He's ready to go. From Swano Speedway, Jeff Curtin to the number 11. The number 27, that's going to be Ashley Brewster. Ashley Brewster's car ready to hit the racetrack as the rest of the field comes on out as well. They're probably going to get between about 5-lap sessions. 5-lap sessions is probably what they will get. We're going to have a rotating session. As only 6 minutes behind schedule, they are getting ready to turn them loose here at Beckley Motorsports Park. One to go indication now being given on the flag stand, as more and more race haulers are starting to make their way into the racetrack. Again, Fast Track Weekly Live, a special show here from the Beckley Motorsports Park. And the first green flag of the night comes out. Hot laps are underway. The Fast Track World Championship weekend is as well here at the 3/8 mile bull ring in wild and wonderful West Virginia. And, of course, Jeff Curtin taking it in there at about the middle groove. Kyle Lucan out of Pennsylvania got it up under the outside wall out of turn number 2. Now he'll back it off and get back going again. As the best of the best will definitely be going at it here in hot laps. They'll get a couple of laps, around 5 laps or so, and then they'll turn them in. We'll get the next group out onto the racetrack. A very well-lit Beckley Motorsports Park here for the Fast Track World Championship. Lucan takes his car up to the height of the top of the racetrack. Curtin gets sideways up there out of turn 2 as well, as it looks like right now the second turn is definitely going to be the trouble spot here. It looks like for at least a hot lap session, as most cars drifted up to the top of the racetrack. And again, some of these drivers are not familiar with the banking, the racetrack here at Beckley Motorsports Park. 15 degrees as the checkered flag falls over the racetrack. Checkered flag will come out over the speedway. And it looks like session 1 will come to an end. Session 1 will come to a close here. And they're saying that Tyler Cox right now is the fastest car. Tyler Cox. 16.196. 16.196 is the overall fastest so far for Jeff Cox. How many Jeff Cox fans we got? And he's topless coming across the finish line. And for those that are tuned in on ETV and Fast Track Radio Network, I know we're not getting the car sounds. I do apologize. We're going to work on that here. We are definitely going to try to get this figured out. So we'll get our next group of cars out here onto the racetrack as they all get ready to hit the racetrack to go out. Well, that group's getting ready to pull in here. Kyle Lucan and the rest of the groups. And this is the second session. Of course, they'll go until 10 o'clock. Les Blankenship, or Adam Blankenship in the number 80 car. They'll come out of turn number 4. Conrad, topless, as he comes across the line of the 58. And I'll tell you what, we've definitely got an issue here. We're going to just do a little bit of music to cover downtime. Whoa, one car into the wall almost. Les Blankenship's machine, the 80 machine out of North Carolina. He keeps it going, but boy, he about collected and was about to get the first Beckley stripe, what we were going to call, of course, at Darlington Raceway for NASCAR, the Darlington stripe. He was going to get the Beckley stripe. The best way to give a description of this track is it is beautifully painted. The white walls all around the facility. A great job has been done. And, of course, we will definitely, and I'm also understanding now as well that we're also going to have to kind of do a different way of, definitely having to get up with them. So, yeah, we are definitely having some issues. I do apologize for that. I do not know what's going on. And before we cut away for just a moment, as, of course, practice just got started, we will send it down now here in just a moment to Tim Howard as these drivers still continue to go at it. 3 blue cars, Blankenship one more time up to the top of the racetrack. And we will immediately get ready to get the checkered flag this time by. No harm, no foul. Thought a couple of cars were going to hit the wall, but they definitely kept it going straight and narrow when it was all said and done. And that will close that session. That session will come to an end. And real quickly, let's go down to the pits with Tim Howard, the voice of Beckley Motorsports Park. I believe Tim Howard has got Mary Kay, the lady that is at the Fastrak Souvenir Trailer right now, selling some of the exciting merchandise of the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, Wesley, you ready for me to talk to someone down here?
Absolutely. Go right ahead, my friend. Go ahead and you take it.
I'll tell you, I've got one of the great people in racing right here with me. I'm down here at the trailer with the one and only Mary Kay. Got to ask her, what do you think about Beckley Motorsports Park?
This place is absolutely terrific. This is my first time here and couldn't be more pleased, especially with the turnout, with the crew, the staff, and everything. Everything is just wonderful. And we've already got a great turnout here just for practice.
That's exactly right. This is just practice. Wait till tomorrow night and then wait till Saturday. You think you got enough merchandise here for all the fans?
That'd be a nice problem to have, to run out of everything, even all the pink hoodies and shirts that we have.
Goodies and and for make sure you stop by the Fastrak trailer and see Miss Mary Kay. Back to you, Wesley.
All right, thank you so much again, Tim Howard down there doing a great job finding Miss Mary Kay. Such a sweet lady, Miss Mary Kay Cumbus, along with Stan Lester, Chrissy Brooks, Kelly Carlton, C.J. Mason, Rusty Carlton, all Tater Reiser, all the hard-working staff here for the Fast Track Racing Series. Shane Weaver in the 135, he's on the racetrack. Chad Justice in the 25 car. And, of course, you got Conrad in the number 58, he's topless. Car number 23, Flash Corey Gordon out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's ready to go. In the Carver & Sons roofing entry number 23, Corey Gordon's entry. And, of course, there goes Kyle Lucon. And, of course, Conard correctly right now is the fastest car. Conard's machine is right now Conard is the overall. Let me explain. We're trying to keep up. Joseph Hayes, one of the best scorers in the business. He's trying to help me out along with the help of Brad Hockaday with time and scoring for Professional Motorsports and Solutions. But Brad is down there helping the TV people get timing and scoring, and Joseph is just getting the transponder numbers. They have not took the time to basically put in car number such and such and such, the number 6 machine out of, Beckley, West Virginia, Shane Weaver, the 135, whatnot. So that'll all be done by tomorrow. But I do know a majority of these cars. This is my job. This is what I do. Kyle Lucon out of Murgatrown, Pennsylvania, and the number 1 car. And, of course, number 24 is out there on the racetrack. 23, Corey Gordon out of Charlotte, North Carolina. There's Shane Weaver in the 135. Chad Justice in the number 25 coming down the main straightaway. And there goes Bill Conrad again in the fastest car overall. The number 6 will, he is the Northeast driver. First time seeing the car number 6. We'll have it by tomorrow, I promise you. Green flag, we are underway, and they are taking off. So, kicking up some dust goes that number 6 everybody was talking about there just a moment ago. Now, we'll let everybody know we were trying to get the sounds of the cars. That is just one thing. Oh, trouble! Turn number 1. Chad Justice goes around. He gets back into the gas. We'll keep it going with the green light on. Green light still on in this practice session as they all go drifting up and down to the top of the racetrack here in the hot lap session for the Fast Track Pro Late Models. Corey Gordon now takes it up to the top of the racetrack from Charlotte, North Carolina. The number 23, Rocket Chassis. Had a pretty strong start to the 2012 season and then had problems and started to fade away about summertime and had to depart from the Travis Creeks Motorsports team, now a part of the Carver & Sons Racing Stables, a 6 car that everybody was asking about, getting a little sideways there. And, they're bunching up out of turn number 4 as they come to the line. And number 24 car giving us a little bit of a scare. He'll gather it back in. Weaver now bunches in with the 6 as yes, again, a question being asked. Yes, Tyler Cox is the first quick time overall. So far, Tyler Cox, he had it, but I don't think he's got it anymore. And now a new man has jumped to the top of the totem pole, but a 15.285. 15.285, the number 23 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the Carver & Sons roof and entry of Flash Corey Gordon, everybody. Corey Flash Gordon to the number 23. Give him a round of applause. He's now your fastest car overall currently in practice. Tim Howard roaming around through the pits. When he gets a driver, gets a dignitary sponsor, we'll bring him on in here. Robbie Klein will be joining me here. Okay, let's go down trackside right now, I believe. All right, Tim Howard is with the man that was sitting fast until Corey just took it, Jeff Cox. And go ahead, buddy. In just a moment, we will throw it down to Tim Howard, who will have Jeff Cox. Here comes the next group of the Fast Track Pro Late Models onto the
Okay,
racetrack.
Wesley, I'm down here in the pits with another one of our drivers that's already been out onto the track for a few laps tonight. In fact, he's one of our younger drivers here at Beckley Motorsports Park, and trying to think how many years he's been driving. Okay, he ran half a year last year in this car and in this full year. But it's none other than Tyler Cox. He just laid down a speed record for, set the quick time, I should say. Tyler, what's the track looking like out there tonight?
It's looking pretty fast up top. I mean, time I was out there, it was a little bit wet. I was pushing a little bit, but I think it's going to be quick tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be real racy.
Sounds good. You looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, just run good, don't get tore up, and just make it out of this thing and make it through all these races this weekend and get some money.
This time 2 years ago, what were you doing?
I was actually running go-karts.
Okay, now you're here with a chance to win $22,000 come Saturday night. What do you think about that?
It'd be nice to take that check home.
I hear you. Folks, that was Mr. Tyler Cox. He drives the number 68 Husqvarna Mountaineer Mower Incorporated sponsored car.
Hey, thank you so much, Tim Howard. Great job down there, of course, catching up with Jeff Cox. We got any Jeff Cox fans in the stands? How about it? Wow, I know I was doing some research on him to prepare for the World Championship broadcast and doing the announcing here for this deal, and stumbled upon YouTube, and the television station done a special documentary on the young man, and definitely correct. Tim started out in the go-kart racing world and now moves up, now running with the premier pro late model series in the country, the Fast Track Racing Series. Shane Weaver, the 325, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Behind him, 32. Ready to go onto the racetrack. 22. Car number 22 on there behind that driver. That's going to be the 22C of Tate Hughes, I believe. The car number 86. Brandon Rife is in the house. The speed freak is what they call him. Then it's going to be the man out of New Martinsville, Ohio, the 77 of the Amsoil entry of Joel Prosser, followed by the other 27 machine back there. Now, you notice some of those Fast Track Pro late models have the tops on their cars. Uh-oh, look who's come out to play. the Grundy Motorsports number 33 out of Crab Orchard, West Virginia, the Mountaineer man, cranking Chris Meadows. Ready to go in the number 33 car. And, of course, always a dominant threat. He's got 2 fast track wins this year. Of course, he won a fast track event back in July and at Wythe. He won at Wythe Raceway, and he also won in July at Thunder Mountain Speedway, just down the road. Give him a couple more moments to get ready to go here. We'll be ready to fire him up. And again, the Fast Track Racing Series open practice here on Fast Track Radio Network. Hey, we will take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to try to get these the sounds of the cars for the viewers. A bunch of viewers listening all over the globe on the 6 different networks, thanks to Fast Track Radio Network and ETV Live Online Auto Sports Entertainment Network. We'll be right back from Beckley Motorsports Park right after this.
Owens, Moyer, Burkoffer, Mars, and Davenport all get dirty with FK.
Jimmy Owens wins!
FK Rod Ends is a family-owned American manufacturing company supporting the racing world for 25 years, as their rod ends have helped some of the nation's best dirt late model drivers find victory lane too many times to count.
Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals champion Billy Moyer!
Dedicated to quality, FK is your answer in the rod end game. So why wait? Get dirty with FK.
For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. FK Rodians sponsors all broadcasts on the Fast Track Radio Network.
GM Performance Parts are under every hood in Fast Track competition. GM Performance Parts. When performance really counts, count on GM Performance Parts. Found in major parts stores all over the country.
City Chevrolet is the race fan's friend with great low price deals every day on quality cars, trucks, and vans. Visit City Chevrolet online today at citychevrolet.com for an unbeatable online deal on a new or used Chevy vehicle. City Chevrolet, centrally located in the heart of racing country on Highway 74 in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. The little drive that saves race fans a lot.
I need new struts for my 2000 Toyota. Let me see struts by AC Delco, Monroe, and any under $50.
We might be able to get some struts from the warehouse.
Why watch the counterman tap on his computer and hope he chooses the right part? Go to rockauto.com. Auto and body parts from hundreds of manufacturers. Choose the brands, prices, and features you want. Auto parts at the lowest price. Conveniently delivered to your home or business. Log on to rockauto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
The sense of pride and craftsmanship goes into every tire we make. You can just feel it. And it doesn't matter if the tire's for a world-class race team or a Saturday night short track driver trying to make it to the big time. The same pride and quality and craftsmanship goes into each and every tire we make.
You can measure the success when the checkered flag falls. When it falls on a Hoosier tire, there's a lot of proud people that were involved in making that.
Bob and Joyce Newton built their family business on a commitment to produce tires of the highest quality. They went beyond the standards of the day to create a higher standard that would keep them reaching for higher levels of performance. Today, hundreds of Hoosier Tire employees help them meet those standards and exceed them every day.
I believe we truly do produce tires designed for champions.
We make racing tires, and we want Hoosier to make the best.
Hoosier Tire. Tires designed for champions.
The Fast Track Racing Series is dedicated to bringing competitive and affordable racing to fans and racers throughout the country. This is an undertaking that we cannot accomplish alone. The Fast Track Racing Series is proud to have great partners and sponsors and contingencies which allow us to continue in this pursuit to be the nation's first and premier pro late model series in the country, now in our 9th consecutive year. The 2012 Fast Track Racing Series is proudly presented by City Chevrolet, the title sponsor of the new Fast Track City Chevrolet Touring Division. For more details, go online to www.citychevrolet.com. Hoosier Racing Tire. They are the official tires of the Fast Track Racing Series. Hoosier Racing Tires are tires designed for champions. Go online to HoosierTire.com. VP Race Fuels is the official racing fuel of the Fast Track Racing Series. VP Race Fuels is the world leader in race fuels technology. For more details, go to vpracefuel.com. FK Rodians. FK Rodians presents all broadcasts on the Fast Track Radio Network. Whether tape-delayed or live flag-to-flag events, or Tuesday night's fastest hour on dirt radio, Fast Track Weekly Live presented by FK Rodians. For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. Kaiser Manufacturing is the maker of Integra shocks and springs along with hundreds of other fine racing components. Kaiser sponsors the Kaiser Manufacturing Hard Luck Award, which is presented to the driver who has a rough night at the races, as voted by our Fast Track officials. Visit KaiserManufacturing.com to learn more about their products lines. Genesis Race Shocks sponsors the Genesis Shocks Thrill of Victory Award. A $100 gift certificate goes towards Genesis products or services good and is presented to the winner of each Fast Track City Chevrolet Touring event this 2012 season. Go to www.genesisshocks.com. Other series sponsors and contingencies are including Chevrolet Performance Parts, RockAuto.com, Vici Racewear Apparel, Velocity USA, Bia Headers, TNT Race Cars, Rocket Chassis, Longhorn Race Cars, Arizona Sports Shirts, Hooker Harness, Cook's Custom Headers, Cisco Fire and Safety, 5-Star Bodies, RTC Performance Filters, Tiger Rear Ends, reminding you to grab a tiger by the tail and Cool Shirt. If you would like to know more about the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country, now in our 9th consecutive year and the nation's first, go online to www.fasttrackracing.com. On behalf of the entire staff of the Fast Track Companies International family, we thank you for attending the races here at your track near you and also listening online to Fast Track Radio Network. And we thank you for your continuing support of the Fast Track Racing Series and the Ultimate Super Late Model Series family. All right. Welcome back. Oh, wow. Welcome back to the show. Oh, you can hear them now, can't you? Oh, I know I can. They are rocking and rolling here. The Fast Track Racing Series at Beckley Motorsports Park. Practice is underway. I do apologize for the issue with the sound, but we have got it going now. The sounds of the cars. And of course, Dan Angelico on the racetrack, Kyle Lucan. All these drivers ready to duke it out. There goes Eddie Hamper. RW Styles in the number 21 going up out of turn number 2. Angelico and the checkered flag coming out of the racetrack. And I believe now we are getting ready to swing on back down to pit road. Let's go to pit road real quickly. And Tim Howard has caught up with the Maple Fork missile of Aaron Barley. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, race fans. The drivers. Yeah, this guy needs. Everybody knows the track. It's Barley Nation come alive. I'm down in the pits with the none other than the. And he's here with us tonight.
All right, of course, he is talking about Aaron Barley, but the having.
I'm not for sure.
Head's cutting in and out. Having a little trouble catching up with him. I do apologize for that. Of course, Aaron Barley's parked way in another part of the pit area. So we'll have to...
Well, it's fast track race. I mean... I mean,
yeah,
I mean, they've been around. They're going to help them out. I mean, it's really in anybody's grabs for tomorrow, Saturday. I mean, it's you got a lot of tough competition here.
All right, again, that's Aaron Barley. It's cutting in and out. We do apologize
Real good in
for
this
that.
28, and I know Barley.
A win would be nice also.
All right, again, that was, of course, yeah, definitely. We do apologize, John. It was cutting out. Tim Howard, we'll be going back to him in the pits here a little bit later on. Again, that was the Maple Fork missile, though. And we will definitely be getting ready for the next group of the Fast Track Pro Late Models again. And, of course, the next group getting ready to hot lap. They go about 4 or 5 laps or so is what they turn onto the racetrack. And then they turn around, go right back into the pits again. But this is actually the street stock division, the street stock cars. We got 4 of them in attendance. They're going to be running their A-main tomorrow night, part of Friday Night Fights with the Fast Track Racing Series. And then, of course, on Saturday night for the Fast Track World Championship final, Saturday, the 20,000 to win World Championship, the 5,000 to win World Challenge. Then the AMRA Modifieds, the drivers in the Mod Squad, will be out here rocking and rolling for their practice sessions. And, of course, their races and all that great stuff. Their A-main part of the World Championship, all televised. Take the lead on Fox Sports South. As me and Lenny Baticki were talking about earlier, the street stock division are onto the racetrack. They'll get ready to come to the green flag this time by, and something we do on the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series with me and Michael Keaton is the ETV sound off, and as they get ready to come out of turn number 4 this time by, we'll let you hear the sound of the street stocks at Beckley Motorsports Park coming to life. And, of course, that's what it sounds like. Cue the sounds down here a little bit as the checkered flag falls over the field for the street stocks here at Beckley Motorsports Park as they finish up with their practice, their session coming to a close. And, of course, you heard that ETV sound off. Compliments of Fast Track Radio Network and the drivers of the Street Stock Division. And here in just a couple of moments, we will get ready to hook up with more great driver interviews. As a matter of fact, let's go back down to pit road. Tim Howard's caught up with David Smith. Let's go down to pit road to Tim Howard. All right, he will be joining us here in just a moment, as I believe he's caught up with David Smith. David Smith, the 2012 Fast Track City Chevrolet Tour Division champion for 2012 for the Fast Track Division. Let's go to Tim Howard.
This driver made the trip up I-77 in a northward fashion today to be with us. Came all the way from Inman, South Carolina. I've got with me Mr. David Smith. David, what do you think about this event this weekend at Beckley?
Oh, everybody's excited about it, and I'm glad to see they had a really big turnout. Good car count. We're making some changes on the car. The last time I come here, it was, of course, we hot lapped and qualified during the sunshine, about 90-degree weather, and it was quite a different racetrack. So we come back with the kind of setup like we needed, and of course, that's not what we need tonight. But we're making a few changes, and we're fixing to go see what we got.
I tell you, what's your past experience with Beckley? Is it a track that kind of ranks up there, one you like or dislike?
Oh, no, I like coming. The last time we come over, we ran second in the touring race in May, and then we come back over for the UBB race, and we end up having steering problems and wasn't able to race. But I enjoy coming over here and running, and like I said, looking forward to the weekend and just getting some time on the track and seeing what it's going to shape out like. I know it'll be a good bit different tomorrow, so we're kind of waiting here a little bit and let it get cleaned off and make some laps.
Okay, well, you heard it there, folks. David Smith, all the way up here from Inman, South Carolina. David, we're glad you came up here to be with us, and good luck this weekend.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey,
back
again,
up to you, Wesley.
Thank you so much, man. Great job. The 2012 Fast Track City Chevrolet Touring Division champion of course, Hollywood David Smith right there. And joining me in the booth right now is the Fast Track Pro Late Models. Get ready to come out again. Mike Fakis, the Pittsburgh Thug of Josh Holtzgraver. Of course, flying Ryan Atkins, the number 9 car, and a host of others. Kegley, West Virginia's Ashley Brewster is Joe Jackson. Finally, after having 2 or 3 phone conversations, now we have a Fast Track Weekly Live, and we're actually seeing one another. Welcome to the show, boss man.
Well, thank you.
Man, I tell you what, the expectation's unreal. Is it what you were expecting?
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm running out of parking spaces up there for these guys. It's amazing. These guys are coming in here from everywhere. They're stacked up there just about as tight as we can possibly put them. And, every time we think that we've got no more parking spaces, Billy Joe yells, hey, I got another big one coming across the track. And, oh, my goodness.
How many cars would you say currently are right now on the premises here as the Fast Track racing cars are about to go to practicing again?
I think we're at about 85, real close to 85. I talked to some of these guys, and they tell me, hey, these guys that I talk to can't be here until tomorrow. So I think we're probably going to pick up pretty close to 20 more by the end of tomorrow.
Do you know that this is a milestone? The first ever televised event, the first ever event with Fast Track and ETV Live Radio, and the first time ever, if we succeed past it, to have triple digits for a Fast Track late model event.
I think we're going to have it. I'm looking at Mike Fakis go around the track, and boys, I'm telling you what, that right there might be your guy. He might be your guy come Saturday night because he flies on this track. This is his home track, and don't be surprised if he's not down in that winner's circle on Saturday.
Definitely. How was the reaction of when Stan called? How did that whole come about? How did this whole deal come about?
I wasn't around. Billy Joe actually got a text message that said, hey, what do you think about the World Championship at Beckley? And she thought it was one of our drivers pranking her, and she texted something back that we can't say on the air, and she said, call me, and about 2 minutes later he called and said, hey, this is Stan Lester, and she was like, oh my God, he's actually serious about this whole thing. So that's how that came about. She told him, hold on, and called me and said, what do you think about this? And I said, it sounds great to me. And
Trouble up in turn number 2. A fine time to lose a Hoosier wheel up to the top of the racetrack, and a topless late model has lost his tire. We've got another competitor. Nope, he hightailed it to the infield, Joe Jackson. There you see, fine. Yeah, there he goes. Right below the light pole where the water truck is.
I got you.
I thought I was about to take a jump into the pond. Okay, so let's continue this interview, Joe, and we'll be getting some times here in just a moment. But let's continue this. So Billy Joe gets a text. She thought it was from another driver playing a prank or somebody or a fan.
Right.
And it was Stan Lester.
And she called me and said, what's your thoughts? I said, oh my God, I don't know what to think. And we called Stan back and we discussed the things and we discussed what we had to do, and it was, hey, let's do this thing. If we're going to do it, let's do it and do it right. And so we went to work. And when we went to work, we've, as you can see here, we've really made things, what I think is a lot of improvements here on the track.
Definitely. And, of course, we are now going to assist to that topless late model up there in turn number 1 and 2. And, of course, me and Tim Howard were talking about as we're getting ready to go into our final hour. Believe it or not, we've been rocking and rolling for now 2 hours here on Fastrak Radio Network for the open practice for the Fastrak World Championship. But I'll tell you what, Joe, this is a tight bull ring. And it reminds me so much because, tomorrow night, Friday Night Fights, the Black Diamond Fastrak format, just up the road at the top, just up the road on 77, close to the Ohio-West Virginia line, is Tyler County Speedway. And they have an event entitled the Test 1 2. Check. Well, they can hear us in the broadcast, and they're having an event entitled the Black Diamond 125s, which is for super late model race cars. But definitely, this event sets the bar for, of course, the big events to come here with the Fast Track Racing Series with a first ever Twin 40 event. What's your thoughts on that, being able to be the first track to have Twin 40s?
Hey, I'm very honored. We are very honored. We're humbled to have you guys here. I'm actually still amazed that Beckley was the one that was chosen to be here and be a member or be a part of your organization here for this championship. And from the looks of things, hey, I think we're going to have a great hit or a great car count.
Definitely correct on that. And of course, that's Joe Jackson, and we are going to take another break. When we come back, we will, of course, continue along as we are right now under the caution flag, which is now turned into a red flag. We're cleaning up, putting the driver of that topless late model on the hook after a couple of moments ago putting down. Yeah, there it goes. It's working now. Okay. So a couple of moments ago putting down the spin up there in turn number 1 and 2. And quickly, Joe, they put him on the hook and take him back behind the wall, and we should be ready to go back to it again.
Hey, Wesley, let me if I can for 1 second here. Those guys out there towing, that is Glenn's Towing. They have been with us since the get-go here at this thing. They're bringing us 3 wreckers out. They don't charge us a dime out here, and you know what? If I need anything at all, I call those guys, and they normally have it. They've brought me out scissor lifts today for your cameras, and Chuck and Tom and his bunch of guys down there, they get out here, they get these cars cleaned up, and they are absolutely the best folks in the world. They're awesome.
Definitely correct on that. We are going to take a break as the next group of late models will be ready to hit the racetrack. Joe, thank you so much, man. Looking forward to it. As, again, they're still working on cleaning up the accident up there in turn 1 and 2. From Beckley Motorsports Park, you're tuned in to, again, of course, Fast Track Radio Network coverage of a special Fast Track Weekly Live, also on ETV, as we get ready for World Championship and the final hour of this 3-hour program of Fast Track Weekly Live.
Owens, Moyer, Burkoffer, Mars, and Davenport all get dirty with FK.
Jimmy Owens wins!
FK Rod Ends is a family-owned American manufacturing company supporting the racing world for 25 years, as their rod ends have helped some of the nation's best dirt late model drivers find victory lane too many times to count.
Lucas Oil 8 Model Nationals champion Billy Moyer!
Dedicated to quality, FK is your answer in the rod end game. So why wait? Get dirty with FK.
For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. FK Rodians sponsors all broadcasts on the Fastrak Radio Network.
Race fans, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please join us in paying tribute to those who have been lost to this dreadful disease and to those who are fighting it still today. Wear some pink to the World Championship in Beckley, West Virginia this weekend and during the rest of October to promote awareness. Fastrak Companies International proudly supports the Susan G. Komen for a Cure Foundation in its quest to promote early detection and treatment and finally to find a cure to breast cancer. Go to www.susangkomen.org to join the race for a cure.
Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, conveniently located off of intersection I-81 and I-77 in Whitfield, Virginia, services all of Southwest Virginia in residential, farms, recreational, and commercial properties. The company is owned by Jason and Judy Short. Judy has been in the real estate market for over 15 years and is the broker of Shortway Real Estate. And they have two of the top agents in Southwest Virginia. Their goal is simple: to provide the best customer service and build business on repeat clients. You can get pre-approvals in less than 20 minutes. They have many properties located on over 300 websites nationwide. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customer service guaranteed. And guess what? Licensed in Virginia, they can show you any property listed in the Commonwealth state. They're located at 1205 East Main Street in Whitfield, Virginia. For more details, call 276-223-4018. That's 276-223-4018. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you, take the short way home. Join me, Wesley Outland, the voice of Fast Track Racing Series, each and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for Fast Track Weekly Live, presented by FK Rodians on the Fast Track Radio Network. Each week, we will have all the racing news and happenings in the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country of the Fast Track universe, as well as in-depth interviews and the movers and shakers of the Fast Track Racing Series. You can join us with your questions by logging on to fasttrackracing.com and clicking the Fast Track Radio button at the top of the page. Again, that's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Fast Track Weekly Live on the Fast Track Radio Network, the fastest hour on dirt radio. The announcement everybody was waiting for came Labor Day weekend.
Well, for the first time ever in history, the World Championship will be in West Virginia at Beckley Motor Speedway.
October 4th, 5th, and 6th, get ready for televised coverage of the Fast Track World Championships. Paying $250,000 for ticket pricing, general information, parking, and much, much more. Go to fasttrackracing.com or BeckleyMotorsports.com. Be there October 4th through the 6th.
The sense of pride and craftsmanship goes into every tire we make. You can just feel it. And it doesn't matter if the tire's for a world-class race team or a Saturday night short track driver trying to make it to the big time. The same pride and quality and craftsmanship goes into each and every tire we make.
You can measure the success when the checkered flag falls. When it falls on a Hoosier tire, there's a lot of proud people that were involved in making that.
Bob and Joyce Newton built their family business on a commitment to produce tires of the highest quality. They went beyond the standards of the day to create a higher standard that would keep them reaching for higher levels of performance. Today, hundreds of Hoosier Tire employees help them meet those standards and exceed them every day.
I believe we truly do produce tires designed for champions.
We make racing tires, and we want Hoosier to make the best.
Hoosier Tire, Tires designed for champions.
Hey, welcome back. Fast Track Weekly Live on the Fast Track Radio Network is here at Beckley Motorsports Park. I'm Wesley Outland along with Joe Jackson. He stayed here another segment. Man, you like this radio stuff, don't you?
Hey, I like this. Yeah.
Definitely. And hey, what do you want to say to all the viewers that are out there?
Hey, they should be here. If they're not here tomorrow night, shame on them because they're going to miss great racing.
Shame on you if you are not here in attendance tomorrow night here for some exciting racing with the Fast Track Racing Series and the Fast Track World Championship. I'll tell you what is your thoughts of this track being the first Fast Track facility to have televised races here?
Hey, we're 53 years old, and we're the oldest still in existence racetrack in the state of West Virginia. So you know what? As hard as we worked, we deserve it. I'll be honest with you. I'll toot my own horn. We deserve it. We've worked hard. We've turned this thing around. We used to have 40 cars. Now we're getting 100 cars, and I'm telling you, it's great. We love it. Me and Billy Joe are having a great time out here. We really enjoy doing this. It's not a job. It's something that we really enjoy doing.
Absolutely, and some of the drivers on the racetrack. Now I'll tell you what they've done. Mitchell Coble and the other drivers, Hot Rod Lamance out of 6 Mile, South Carolina, Eddie Hambrick in the 45, Jeff Curtin out of Shawano, Wisconsin, Trent Ivey, the Maple Fork missile of Aaron Barley, and of course Les Blankenship, Kyle Lucon, Dan Angelicchio.
Hey, one of my guys over there. Eddie Hamrick's over there. Yeah. That's one of my guys.
Yeah, definitely. We used Hambrick's car to do a piece. And real quickly, let's go back to the pits. I believe Tim Howard has called up with the man out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, Flying Ryan Atkins in that number 9 car. Go ahead, Tim. And of course, we'll wait for him to get up here. Oh, we got a car going around. That was Jeff Curtin. He'll gather it back up. We'll go around. This track is so tricky because so many times you can say, oh, we got trouble, and then it'll just clear right back up again.
Hey, the banking here we measured, it's right about 20%. And
here in the pit area, he also made the trip north on Interstate 77 today to be with us. He came up here from North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Mr. Ryan Adkins. Ryan, what do you think of this upcoming weekend here at Beckley?
Well, there's a lot of big money on the line and, a lot of good cars here. So I believe it's a good opportunity to end out our season with making a little money, hopefully.
That sounds pretty good. You've already been out on the track for a few laps. What's the track looking like this week?
Well, right now it's hooked up wide open. Give it everything you got. We've been up here a couple times before, and it's not normally like this. So I'm curious to see if it'll stay this way. I highly doubt it, but right now it's kind of fun. It's pitch it sideways and mat it to the firewall. So it'll be interesting to see later on.
Oh, that's it. I see he's got his car topless, so all the fans here in the stands will be able to get a bird's eye view of Ryan working through the corners. Ryan, we're sure glad you came up here to be with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the guys putting it on and everything, and hopefully we can have a good show.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wesley, back to you.
Thank you so much, Tim Howard. Of course, that's Tim Howard, the voice. What a great announcer. As Aaron Barley about goes around up there in turn 2 as the checker flag falls over the field. But, man, Tim Howard, you got a great announcer.
Hey, buddy, I couldn't have picked a better one. I'm telling you, he is fantastic. He is definitely the voice of Beckley Motorsports Park.
I say West Virginia dirt racing is what I say on the show. Hey. It's definitely awesome.
He's the best. I'm telling you. You two together up here, I have no doubt that you're going to put on a good show for these guys.
And they are roaming around the pits as we speak now. Of course, fans, how about it, fans? Let's make some noise. You're on internet radio around the country. Let them hear you, Beckley. Oh, come on. Y'all can be louder than that. Make some noise for your favorite Pro Late Model drivers in the pits. Oh, yeah. And, of course, by tomorrow night into Saturday, it'll be even more louder than that.
Hey, I think we're going to be packed. I think we're going to be packed up come Saturday night.
Definitely, as the other groups of the Fast Track Pro Late Models get ready to hit the racetrack. Of course, we were talking about the TV production. We had that car going around, and then we had Tim Howard on with Ryan Atkins. Let's go back to that again.
Oh, these guys come in here. They've got a time-lapse camera up down here, and they've captured everything from sun up today. I think it takes a picture every 10 seconds. All these drivers coming in all day and all evening, and I think that's going to be a really neat thing to see at the end of when this thing gets done.
Absolutely, and you've done everything in your possibility to set up the forklifts. You got people, I think that's Flipper, Richard Ford, one of the best. He does dirt on dirt with Michael Rigsby up on the top of the back straightaway on the forklift with a great camera shot. You have a camera shot there. Going to have one in the infield. Going to have one coming out of the corner out of turn number 3 and 4 in the apex behind the billboards there.
Right.
And the flag stand shot. And, of course, we got one of the best flagmen in the business, Checkers, Robbie Williams, who flags volunteer, stands and has retained his services for the World Championship.
Hey, that's good. Now let me toot my horn on my flagger.
Yes.
My flagger took over about halfway through the season this year. Did a good job. My old flagger couldn't make it one week, and Frankie stepped in. Never been on a flag stand. He took off, and I've got a great lady over here that takes control of the radio, and she's been here for about 50 years with me. And she said Frankie does a fantastic job. She has no complaints about Frankie at all. And tooting the horns here are my guys that take care of me. I'm telling you, I surrounded myself with people that knew what they were doing, and it only makes me and Billy Joe shine.
Absolutely, and again, of course, we are talking about the Fast Track World Championships, and I'm Wesley Outland, announcer, PR director for the Fast Track Racing Series. The 9th anniversary program setting a milestone here this weekend with the Fast Track World Championships. Over $250,000 purse on the line, and of course, great racing. And let's go down to pit road real quickly. Tim Howard has called up with Little Mac out of Dobson, North Carolina. Chase McCormick, his home track is, of course, Friendship Motor Speedway in Elkin, North Carolina. And we are going to go now down to Tim Howard, and we will get the word with him, and we'll have more with Joe Jackson as we go into hour number 3 of Fast Track Weekly Live here on the Fast Track Radio Network, as well as on ETV Live Radio. Quickly, let's go to pit road.
Hey, Wesley, I've come up with another one of our drivers here at the Speedway. I'm trying to get where I can have a little bit of quiet from a lot of the race car boys. But I've got a driver made the trip up from Dobson, North Carolina to be with us, and that is Mr. Chase McCormick. Chase, how do you like it up here in Beckley?
Tell you what, man, it's crazy. I don't know. I ain't never seen a track like this, but I don't know what it's going to do this weekend. I don't know.
I tell you, we're sure glad you came up here.
Well, thank you.
Have you ever raced on Beckley before?
It's my first trip up here.
Okay, it's going to be a new experience. I noticed a lot of pink on your car. I guess you're doing all you can to help out with October and breast cancer awareness.
Yes, sir, that's right. It's for a good cause. I've got a lot of family members that had breast cancer. Got a lot of friends that's trying to help everybody out for a good cause.
Well, I tell you, it's great to see that you've painted your car to support this cause and working for a great cause. And I want to say good luck up here at Beckley this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. Back to you, Wesley.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you what, Joe, it sounds like Tim Howard's just having a ball in the pits. He's enjoying this tonight, covering the pit area.
He doesn't get very much of a chance to do that, and he's down there where he can talk to those guys. He sits up here all night and he announces it for me and he talks about them. But I think he's really enjoying himself down there talking to every one of those drivers.
Hey, I just want to show you what we came up with, what ETV Live and Fast Track Radio Network came up here to help promote this exciting World Championship weekend. We've got guys from all over on 6 different networks through ETV Live, Fast Track Radio's Ustream account that we've had for 2 years, and then, of course, iTunes Radio, Tuned In Radio, Windows Media Guide, HD Radio Network, and ETV-eplay.net. Unlimited, no lagger, buffer issues, and these people are enjoying it. Like John Kennedy, John Kennedy wanted to say a big hello to you, tuning into the chat box. He's up from Ohio, and he's enjoying the great racing action here from practice. As man, this is just a phenomenal thing to take racing to the next step for Fast Track.
Hey, I see you've got your picture up there, and you've got Tim Howard's picture up there. You don't have my picture up there.
We need to, we talked about that because you're the man, the visionary deal. We need to just put a picture of you like right over the Beckley page there. We'll just have you, because we talked about that Tuesday, and your wife jumped all over me, boss.
Hey,
she said, you did what, Wesley?
I got this letter in the mail the other day from a guy in Illinois who asked for my autograph. And I'm telling you what, I've been laying it on thick with her ever since I got that letter, and I'm telling you, she can't stand it.
Definitely, and of course, we have got Tim Howard, the voice of Beckley Motorsports Park, in the overflow. Joe Jackson is stepping away from the day-to-day operations to come and play announcer with me in the booth and co-host, and I'll tell you what, man, look at all of those fans. Hey, fans, wave hello up on the top of the hill. How about it, fans in the grandstands? Make some noise if you're enjoying open practice tonight. Let us hear you. How about it? Man, I'll tell you what, as the next group of the Pro Late Models, and one thing I want to touch on, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so many Fast Track Pro Late Models are right now sporting pink on their cars for this month in honor of those.
I don't think there's a car down there that doesn't have something pink on it. They've all stuck at least a ribbon on their car, and there's one there that is completely pink, Wesley. So these guys are really taking, they're stepping forward and taking care of supporting those guys.
I've been told right now that we have around 65 to 70 cars here on the grounds.
Oh, okay.
65 to 70 cars. So you were close. You said 80, but I'm telling you, you do the math. This is still a big car count.
Right.
This is insane. And if we get, so many people are saying that we're going to get those 100 cars. And why not? You're going to be on television. You're at least going to get a shot of that, of fame on TV with the Fox. Stan Lester made it emphatic in the meeting that we had this afternoon. Look, whether they make the A-main or not, I want at least every one of these drivers to be mentioned just one time because they deserve it.
Right. I think they do. These guys, you can't just step into a Fast Track Pro Late Model and come in here and get in this race. You've actually got to work to get into this race. Just to get invited to be here, you've got to do your 12 races. You've really got to step up and make things happen just to get here.
Definitely. Everybody says the audio is awesome. They're enjoying it. It's money. They love it. It feels like they're at the track with the sounds of the cars on ETV Live Radio and Fast Track Radio with Fast Track Weekly Live presented by FK Rodians and, of course, Short Ray Real Estate Incorporated. Now, talk about how you and Billy Joe got this racetrack.
Back last year, we were reading a newspaper, and we saw in a newspaper where the promoter that had this track before us had let it go back to Jack Whitaker. Jack Whitaker's actually the one that owns this track, and it went back to him, and there was no lease on it. And we were sitting at Bob Evans eating breakfast, and we looked across the room, and lo and behold, Jack Whitaker and his wife sitting across the room from us. So Billy Joe walked over, we walked over and said, what are you going to do with our track? And Jack said, I'm thinking about building houses on it. And I said, oh my God, you can't do that.
Right.
This thing's been around forever. So we asked him to give us a chance. We gave him a card, a business card, asked him to call us. And a couple of days later, he called us and said, hey, if you guys are serious about this thing, let's talk about it. We signed the paperwork on a Monday, and we raced on a Friday. So we had to come in here and really do a whole lot of work in a 4-day time period. But we've enjoyed it ever since then. It's great. We love it out here. We've been spending most of the evenings out here.
Let's go to pit road real quickly, and Tim Howard has called up with Mike Fakis. Tim, go ahead, sir. Okay, we're getting ready to throw it to Tim Howard here in the pits in just a moment. There we go. Let's go to Tim Howard.
Okay, Wesley, I'm down here in the pits with my next victim, I guess I'm calling him now. This guy, if anybody knows how to get around Beckley Motorsports Park, this fella has done it. He's been around probably more laps than just about anybody here. I've got one of our local guys, Mr. Mike Fakis. Mike, what do you think of this weekend?
Well, hopefully everything will go good. Have some good luck this weekend.
It looks like a lot of competition in this pits tonight.
Yeah, a lot of competition when you run the Fastrak series.
That's it. It brings out the best of the best, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, when it comes to the Grand Nationals or World Championship, like you said, the best of the best come out.
That's exactly right. What do you think what's your odds just looking like this weekend, you think?
My odds are looking real good. I don't know about everybody else's.
Hey, now that's confidence. Well, Mike, good luck. We're glad you're here with us representing Beckley Motorsports Park.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Wesley.
Thank you so much, Tim Howard. And, of course, that is Mike Fakis in the number 6 smoker-friendly RPMX Motorsports entry. And, by the way, speaking of smoker-friendly, that is where the final Fast Track Weekly Live on location for the World Championship weekend will be held at. We are happy to be hooking up with Miss Gray and the folks up there at the fine establishment not too far down the road. Smoker-friendly and Robbie Klein and the Fast Track cars, Speed Energy, Miss Fast Track, Chelsea Smith. It's going to be an exciting 3 hours from there from 10 to 1.
Hey, you know what? Wesley, Tim Howard's been down on pit road.
Yes, sir.
That's where I'm usually at. I kind of like this seat up here. I'm beginning to think maybe I might take this job and we'll let Tim kind of line up cars. What do you think about that?
Let him line up the cars. You're a fine co-host and broadcaster as well. One thing we know, we don't do the dead air thing. Hey, dirty rap. Jimmy Schultz goes around a little bit in 1 and 2 as Chad Justice is right up under him. Brandon Umberger's got a brand new Barry Wright built. Behind him, Chris Meadows, another driver that's no stranger here. Of course, the number, that's the 77 of Martinez, George's Brian Connor. Kyle Lucon in the 1. Remember the guy coming across the stripe, the number 6? He was the one that lost the wheel here earlier.
Right.
He damaged the car that bad. He's back out. Let's hear you call some laps.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about Chad Justice for a minute.
Yeah.
Chad Justice is one of our local drivers here. He's a great guy. We have a UBB memorial race here to memorialize the 29 miners that got killed not but 30 miles from here. Chad Justice shows up for UBB memorial race with a car that is all UBB 29. He changed his number from 25 to 29.
Yep.
And it really, really stands out. Those guys really love it. Whenever people come here, they all want to get their picture taken with it. And he's changed back. I noticed he's changed back to his 25 and went back to his old paint scheme. And Chad's a good guy. We talked to him down there earlier. Chris Meadows right there. He's another one that these guys got to watch out for. He's a real firecracker here, and he gets around this track very, very fast.
Hey, and these guys are going hot and heavy. Brandon Umberger and Meadows make contact. Umberger goes to the top of the track. He has definitely got a little bit of sheet metal damage as Meadows drives by him. And, wow, maybe a fender rub on Meadows' car with the contact on Umberger as he started to close in on the inside of Chad Justice. Couldn't reel him in. And, of course, that will end that session. A lot of great heavy hitters out there during that one. How about it, fans? Make some noise for your favorite driver. As they come down the main straightaway, Ashley Brewster, Jimmy Schultz. How many Chris Meadows fans do we have?
New fast time.
A new fast time is what we're being told. 14.823 Chris Meadows, ladies and gentlemen. 14.823, and while that's going on, we will go to the pits real quickly to Tim Howard, as I believe he is now called up with the man, the Speed Freak they call, in the number 86 of Brandon Rife. So we'll throw it to Tim Howard here in the pits. I tell you, he's busy getting the drivers, ain't he?
Oh, he's busier than I am.
Definitely.
And I'm busy.
You're having fun. He's having
Hey,
fun.
Wesley.
Having fun. Go ahead, Tim.
One of the drivers from the southern West Virginia area this time. This guy runs at Thunder Mountain a whole lot, but he's no stranger to Beckley. He's known as the Speed Freak, but a lot of people just call him Brandon Rock. What do you think about this event this weekend at Beckley?
I think it's good for everything that's around here, the area, and bringing a lot of money in to the state of West Virginia. It's probably one of the biggest races since the USA 100 has been to Beckley. So Hoping to have a good weekend. See if we can run up front.
Sounds like you're glad to see Fastrak brought this race up here to Beckley Motorsports Park.
Thank you so much again, Tim Howard down there with Brandon Rife and Joe Jackson has had to step away. More race haulers as we speak are rolling in, and now joining me up in the race control is one of the hardest working officials, Mr. Jerry King. He got the Employee of the Year for Fastrak last year, and Jerry, man, are you ready for the World Championships, buddy?
Man, I'm ready. This is going to be an exciting weekend.
The biggest race we've ever had in the 9 years of Fastrak, a milestone. Fox Sports Television tape delayed broadcast in the winter of 2013, beginning in January. In all 4 one-hour episodes will air before Speed Weeks at Daytona, and then of course going into the 10th anniversary next year. And just talk about what it's like being here at Beckley Motorsports Park, and what do you think of this racetrack?
They got a real nice facility here. You know, this is the place to have a race like this. You know, your turns are wide, and this track is it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real interesting this weekend. And I was talking earlier to some people, especially our boss Stan.
Yes.
He is surprised with all these people that showed up here for practice tonight. We was talking earlier. We've been proud, to have 30 cars here to practice, but you're only 70 cars here for practice. What's tomorrow gonna bring?
Yeah.
We may hit that 100 mark tomorrow.
And if I remember correctly, as the street stocks are on the racetrack now, we'll kind of fade those out a little bit here. We like to power those late model cars is what we like, but definitely, I would like to say though, Jerry, that a bunch of milestones being hit this weekend. And if we hit 100, that'll be the first time ever in 9 years.
That's right.
100-something cars.
That's right. We already done doubled what we had last year.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think of the broadcast? As far as doing the television for Fox.
I think it's going to be a real good thing for Fastrak. It's really going to put them on the map. It's going to show them really what dirt track is all about.
You're definitely correct on that, and of course, you can watch that scoreboard as some of them are hooked up to the time in the scoring loop. The street stocks are fans that are in the stands, and of course, Fastrak Weekly Live, a special 3-hour edition here from Beckley Motorsports Park. This is a bad, fast oval. It's a circle. The way they drive around here is a circle. Now tell everybody what your job is with Fastrak, Jerry.
Well, I've got really all kind of jobs. I start out at the week at the shop, getting everything cleaned up, getting the truck loaded to get to these races, and then coming here, doing what I was asked to do, and mainly the kids like the big fireworks show that we put on at racing, so that's a real good thing.
Now, I can't give out all the secrets, but from what I have been told, you got quite a pyro supply in that toter trailer, don't you?
That's right.
And fireworks every night, beginning tomorrow night. Of course, the big ones are on Saturday.
Your big ones will be on Saturday, but you'll have a few tomorrow night.
Definitely. Now, how dangerous is that job to be a pyromaniac?
It can be dangerous. You just have to watch what you're doing and make sure you set them level, and you don't have any of them setting crooked. If you do, they'll turn over and they'll tell what happened.
And of course, if you were listening to the last time, Chris Meadows did lay down a fast time on the racetrack. And Brian Barker, I will get a final rundown of cars and their speeds whenever we're done. We have not put in all the official time and scoring information like we like for a touring event yet, because tonight was just practice night. But I promise as soon as we get that information, we'll pass it in there. But I'll tell you what, there's David Smith on the racetrack, the Southeast Mid-East champion, and now joining me, ladies and gentlemen, as one of the Nance boys from the Friendship Speedway in Elkin, North Carolina, jumps on the last recent track to come on board, car 135 up there, end of the track, and founder and CEO of Fastrak Companies International, Stan Lester. Could you be any happier for a Thursday night?
Ed, I'm amazed, Wesley. If you were in a driver's meeting, I told the guys there, just thank you so much. What a shock. What a shock. It's I'm almost trembling. It's so good.
Definitely, and I know they just said it was almost close to 70 cars, and I don't know if you've noticed, but 2 or 3 more just came up the hill while you were coming up
They
here
did.
as well.
Somebody sent us a report a minute ago and said it was 83. Now, I really don't know if
We've
it's
lost
true.
count.
We have lost count. I mean, I knew it was 60 some odd before the drivers meet, but there's been people continuously coming up the hill. Just had a guy send me a text. He said 83 cars, unbelievable, and it is unbelievable. And you're right. I mean, as we were coming up here, we passed 2 cars coming in then.
Absolutely, and of course, folks that are tuned in on Fast Track Radio Network and the ETV Live Network, 6 different networks covering the Fast Track Weekly Live show this weekend. And Stan, we have got a bunch of service full of almost hundreds of listeners listening right now.
That is an awesome deal, and I appreciate everybody doing that and listening to us. Sounds like we got racing going on, sure enough, in the background.
And they're loving the cars in the background. They said it feels like they're there, capturing the action with the cars. Stan, as the Fast Track Pro late model says, one car gets a little sideways there. The 27, there's Matt Long, one of our regulars, last year's Rookie of the Year. Icewater Jordan Dill, the Nance brother in the 24. Brian Nance, and of course David Smith. Some of these cars have the roofs. Oma cars, some are topless. Talk about what's going on this weekend, sir.
Well, I mean, it'll be topless tomorrow night. It'll be Friday night fights. Be 2 complete qualifying sessions, heats, features, last chance races, and feature events. 40-lap features for tomorrow night. Just to change the pace here for a minute, the track has gotten a lot faster. If you notice, we went out there and ironed it out 3 wide. I was looking at, I was down there with Kelly in the infield. I was like, what can we do? It's just, I don't like the way the racetrack looks. What do we do? And we talked about putting the scraper on it, but we were afraid if we did that, it'd peel it up, and that's going to cause a hole. Then that's going to make it bad for tomorrow. What's on there right now, when the track irons out, we can actually take the scraper. I mean, when the track dries out tomorrow, we can actually take the road scraper and we just skim the top of it, no water, just skim it and let it go. Because one thing we've got to be prepared for is if we were to have any inclement weather, we can't have this thing wet through and through. So we want to be able to get on it and finish the show and rock and roll. But if you noticed, Brandon Umberger was out there a minute ago with Chris Meadows, and it looked like when they were racing at Thunder Mountain. I mean, these guys...
And they had some damage. Meadows actually had some fender damage on a Hoosier tire on the right front.
Yep, and those guys, they ran side by side for, I guess, 8 or 10 laps. They were doing a good job. So the track has definitely gotten much better since we went out there. We made them get 3 wide. Iron it out the best we could, and really that's all we could do tonight, because we started doing something with machinery. The track's so soft right now, it's spongy. We're going to really mess it up. So I think we did the best thing we could do. Did everything we could do for tonight. And people are coming up and practicing. They're coming back to the practice gate really fast right now, so that means they must like it.
Absolutely, and there's only 40 minutes left to go in practice, and of course the second annual cook-off for the Fast Track Racing Series, that was a big hit last year. Dan Angelici of his team won it last year at Volunteer Speedway Stand, and I asked him, I said, are you going to do it again? You ready to do the 2-peat? And he said, well, I don't really think we're qualified this year. I don't think we're going to do anything. Then he said, I don't know, we might cook up something. So I think he's kind of playing us right now.
Yeah. And there's one lady that's already come up down there. We didn't have anybody raise their hands at the driver's meet, but those are not normally the people that's doing the cooking. So it's we got trophies down there for them, and they got the neatest trophies. Did you see them?
Yes.
Concept Graphics, they did our trophies. They were just fantastic. Got the little chef with the Fast Track thing on his belly, and looks kind of like me, real fat and whatever.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee got the hat on, and it's what a nice little deal, Chan and the guys down there at Concept Graphics did. Wesley, I am excited, man. I mean, this is just cool as it could be. I've had people text me from Ohio talking about the cars that are here, and they're not even here. So evidently the news is spreading really quickly.
All the news is out. Definitely, there goes Max Meadows, Virginia, one of the Fast Track City Chevrolet regulars this year. Barry Arnold, Eddie Hambrick out here on the racetrack, and of course, the other machines, the number 3 going into turn 1 out of Royal Retreat, Virginia, Kenny Peoples Jr., Flying Ryan Atkins out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, Shane Weaver in the 325X is out here on the racetrack. We saw him at the Pro Late Model Nationals.
And he was at Eldora, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Number 15 out of Dobson, North Carolina. That's Little Mac, Chase McCormick. His dad is Jimmy McCormick, who used to drive super late models and still does from time to time. And there's some of the drivers that we have on the
55
racetrack.
cars. Joe Martin. Joe just won.
Yes.
He's the one you interviewed this week.
Yes, Joe Martin going
Nice
to victory
looking
lane.
car. Nice looking car.
Well, the photo that I actually had for the show, it was a red 55, so he just changed it.
Yep, he's brought it out for TV. I'll guarantee you, these guys got these stuff looking good. They're gonna need car washes tomorrow, but it's looking good tonight.
And let's talk about that on Saturday, Stan. Smoker Friendly, another Fast Track Weekly live show we're doing there, and doing the Miss Fast Track's going to be there. The Fast Track stars and cars are going to be out there, and what a great thing to have Smoker Friendly involved with, because they are going to be involved with television production sponsorship for the first ever TV broadcast coming in the winter.
That's exactly right. If we could get rid of this little berm going in 1 and 2 here, see how they're hitting it? If we could get rid of that little berm, then we'd have a heck of a good racetrack right now.
Chat room question coming in, Stan, for you. How much are tickets for Friday night fights?
I really don't know. They'll have to go to the Beckley website and see. Wesley, you're going to do that right now, help them out?
I will definitely go and do that right now to help them out. Yes, sir.
I honestly don't know. And man, what a nice looking deal you got set up
That
there,
is
Wes.
what ETV did, the 6 different networks, as well as what we have on the Fast Track Radio account. So
That looks cool.
yes, sir, definitely. And BeckleyMotorsports.com, you can go to that website, but you don't have to worry. I'm getting ready to go and do it for you here real quickly, and I will find out how much the prices will be for the World Championship weekend. As again, it is going to be an awesome. This is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, Stan Lester. As again, the best of the best are getting ready to come out here. Prices for Friday night is $20 in the grandstand. $20 in the grandstand, $25 for Saturday, and of course you can go for all 3 days for $50. That's an awesome ticket, Stan, especially with the way the economy is. As you know, we heard the Obama-Romney talk last night in the debate, but
Was that a talk? I thought that was a blowout.
yeah, definitely. A smackdown, could we call it that?
I'm telling you what now. I mean,
I don't try to mix racing and politics together.
With all due respect, I mean, Obama got his butt kicked last night. It's a good thing he wasn't on the racetrack. He'd have been 5 laps down.
Obviously, but with the economy the way it is, Stan, great ticket prices that y'all came up with for this event.
I tell you what, Joe and Billy Joe have done such a tremendous job here. They have worked really, really hard. There have been a lot of nerves place. I've had to call her and talk to her every day this week. She's had to call and talk to me every day. Just a lot of anxious minutes going on, down to the minute. And I tell you what, has it ever paid off? I mean, my goodness gracious, I would have never believed this. I just wouldn't have.
Absolutely. And let's talk about, for people that are, tuned into the broadcast, about Fast Track, how it got started, where it came from, and where it's coming to now. And, of course, real quickly, before we continue on with Fast Track founder and CEO Stan Lester, we're going to go back down into the pits with the driver of the number 27 entry. He resides out of Kegley, West Virginia. Stan will continue with the topic of how Fast Track came to creation in just a moment. But first, let's go to Tim Howard.
Thanks, Wesley. I've got another one of our local drivers from right here at Beckley Motorsports Park with me right now. I like to call him the captain because he is a captain on the volunteer fire department, of which I'm also a member. But I got driver of the number 27 car at Beckley, Mr. Ashley Brewster. Ashley, what do you think about this week going on up here at Beckley?
I'll tell you, it's really something to see this many cars show up. I mean, definitely the most cars I've seen.
I tell you, you made the trip to Cleveland County last year for the finals last year. I guess you're a lot happier to see it right here at your home track, aren't you?
Oh, you better believe it. It's a whole lot better. And, I mean, to go to a track you've got to run all year long, it's definitely an advantage.
Well, that's good. You think you're going to have anything for him this weekend?
I don't know. We'll have to see because there's a lot of good competition here.
I'll tell you. Ashley, you got your work cut out for you. They find drivers in the field here this weekend.
Yeah, and it's definitely not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Okay, well, glad you're here with us, Ashley. And I'm going to pass it back up to you in the tower, Wesley.
Thank you so much again, Tim Howard down there. He's doing a great job, Stan. And this is something we've never done before, for an event of getting the driver interviews and getting the thoughts of these guys as they're coming off the track, shaking their cars down for World Championship weekend and getting the emotion. And you can hear it in their voice just like it is in yours right now, Stan.
I'm telling you, I've had the trembles going on all night. I can't share with everybody how I feel right now. To see what's going on here, I just commend these race teams. I mean, it's Thursday night. And look, I want to commend all those employers out there that let these guys off and let them come to these World Championships, World Challenge events this weekend. I want to thank each and every one of them because I think that's extremely important that they allow them to do that. And I just appreciate each and every employer out there that allowed them to come.
I know according to my producer, at one point, Stan Lester, we had over 300 listeners. There's over 140 tuned in right now as we're just getting ready to come to the final half hour. And, of course, it's on 6 different networks, not just on Fastrak Radio Network on Ustream, but now we've hooked up with J.D. Webb and John Wesley of ETV Live Online Auto Sports Entertainment Network for etv-eplay.net. Tuned In Radio, iTunes Radio, Windows Media Guide, and of course HD Radio Network as well. And definitely you can hear the sound of the cars. And if you got any questions in the chat box whatsoever, let us know, and we will definitely take care of you as best as we can.
One of our Fast Track race teams is not here, or former Fast Track race teams. I won't say who, but he just told me, he said, I just wanted to tell you that you have the perfect face for radio. So, there you go.
Was that me or you?
No, that was me, brother.
Okay.
That's me. It's all on me on that one. I appreciate that, Boz. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. And speaking of the radio thing, and now we'll talk about Fast Track, how this whole thing come about. If there's somebody that's listening right now, then they're mesmerized with the sounds of these cars and the creation of this program. In a quick 2 minutes, because I know it could be a long interview to do it. Talk about how Fast Track got going, and next year will be 10 years.
First thing I want to share with you, just so all these listeners while they're on, this practice is not stopping at 10 o'clock.
Oh, really?
We've got so many cars here. I talked to Joe before we got started. We're going to keep on with it. We'll probably continue until at least 10:45 or 11 o'clock anyway. We want to give everybody plenty of track time. So we want to make sure, especially we had to go out and work on the track a little bit, so we want to give them a little time to make sure they've got their cars dialed in for tomorrow. Give them their money's worth more than anything. It was only $10 to get in tonight, but still, give them their money's worth for taking time off and coming here. And again, special thank those employers and those wives and parents that are at home. I want to thank you too so much, and the children that may have had to stay at home. Thank you guys if you're listening. We appreciate you very much. Appreciate you allowing Dad and whoever to come and their pit crews. And man, think about the pit crews that come. I mean, driver gets a lot of recognition. You know who he is, but think about these guys with the pit crews that come and their families. God, we just appreciate y'all just so very much for allowing them to be here. And for the ones that are here, we're glad they're here. We're going to have a good time with them.
Definitely. And of course, you make the decision, producer John Wesley in Indianapolis. We can stay on until it's over with, or we can go off at 10 o'clock. You make the decision.
Don't feel
I'm here with you, bud, till the end, so he doesn't make the decision.
Don't feel any pressure or anything,
Absolutely. How did Fast Track come about, Stan? I know the story, but tell it to everybody else that's tuned in.
Well, it was I don't really know how to begin. We saw some things that, I raced, my dad raced for 28 years. I drove for 34, owned a team for 4 more. This is my son's 20th year and my grandson's 3rd year. So what we do is race. There's not a lot of stick and ball sports. Blake does play a little bit, my grandson. We race. That's what we live to do. It's our hobby. It's what we do at night during the week. We've had some great relatives and wives and stuff, girlfriends that have allowed us to do that. And we saw something happening with racing that I didn't like. It had gotten so expensive. The last year that we ran, that I actually owned the team for about 4 years after I quit driving myself, we won 97% of our races that year, Wesley, not counting any of our initial cost or extra engines or extra rear ends or any of that stuff.
Right.
Not counting any of that, just expenses versus income.
Right.
We won 97% of our races, most of them the big 100 lappers, and we still lost $97,000.
Running big money races.
Excuse me,
and
we
still
lost
losing out.
97% of our races,
Right.
$72,000 is what we lost.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it really, like so many people, I didn't realize it. I mean, here I was at the end of the year, I sat down and did my little tabulation on what we did and didn't have, and guess what? I was like, how in the world? I mean, if we did this and won 97% of our events, what is it costing people that don't win at all? So we sat down and we looked at, is something going on? We sat down and we looked at what were some things that we could control the cost of in racing. And we thought the two most expensive things in racing were the engines and the tires. So we set out to design a spec tire that would last pretty good, but still give us good traction. And we set out with an engine. How could we have a competitive engine at a cheap price? Well, we called General Motors. And at first, they didn't want to be involved in it. They said they never work on dirt. So I built my own motor. We built our own motor. It was very competitive, nice little piece. And then the guys started coming around and they said, hey, allow us to run the GM crate engines too. So we did that in the first year. Winder Bear Speedway, April 3rd, 2004, we had 5 cars at our first race. In October of that same year, we went to Oglethorpe Speedway Park in Savannah, Georgia at our last race and had 51. Now, the only thing we did different was we were tough on touch. We tried to treat people like they were our customers, and we did what we said we was going to do. Even when it cost us money, when we lost money, we did what we said we was going to do. We see Max Blair out there, and Brian Connor. They're looking pretty quick out there, pretty spiffy.
And of course, you know that you talk about that rut up there in turn 1, and every time they hit it, the car just bobs up.
Well, it's not really a rut. It's just a berm where they push the dirt
exactly.
up.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I was asking Kelly when you asked me something a minute ago. But anyway, back to it. We just kept on. We just kept on doing it, and and people kind of started catching on, and track started catching on, and Jeff Curtin up in the Great Lakes region, he caught on. Rocky East Step up here, he caught on. Vicky and Mike Leone up in the Northeast region, they caught on. And the next thing you know, we've got 600 race teams across the country.
And, of course, we'll continue on with the way Fastrak has come to where it's now, which will be its 10th anniversary next year. Its first ever television broadcast, tape delayed on Fox Sports coming up this weekend. And
Thank you, Wes.
let's go to Tim
And
Howard.
with me now, I've tracked down another one of our drivers down here in the pit area. This one, I tell you, a lot of people know him by only one word name. That's Flatfoot. That's Brandon Umberger, hails from Rural Retreat, Virginia. Brandon, what do you think about all the events this weekend at Beckley Motorsports Park?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to get our car right here. Try to get some of this money if we can.
That's it. There's a lot of it on the line this weekend for Fastrak. Also, a lot of cars here. You think there's got pretty stiff competition?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of good cars here.
Okay, you've had some pretty good luck here at Beckley in the past. You think it's going to be your weekend then, I guess?
Well, I hope so. Anyway, I hope we can carry it over.
Okay, Brandon, good to talk to you here. Does the track look like it's going to be pretty good for the weekend?
I'd say it's going to be a lot. Say that.
Just have to adjust as it goes, isn't that right? That's it. Thank you, Brandon. Glad to have you here.
All right, again, of course, that's Tim Howard, the voice of the Beckley Motorsports Park down there. And Stan, we were talking about that during the break, and man, that's awesome being able to get those drivers' thoughts during the downtime with Tim Howard getting the interviews.
I like that. That's good. That's good. That really is. That's a a good thing for the fans to hear out there. That's exciting stuff. That's good. Didn't realize y'all were doing that up here, Wesley. You just kind of took off and did a good job this weekend.
The Maple Fork Missile and the number 28 of Aaron Barley, he's out there. Of course, other drivers, sporting pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There goes Mitchell Coble out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the 311 Motor Speedway track champion in Madison. And, of course, behind him is the original Grand Nationals champion, Hot Rod LaMance out of 6 Mile, South Carolina. And it's always a special story. Stan, go ahead and tell it.
I'm going to tell you something. It's so good to see Hot Rod back here at this event. I like Hot Rod, love him to death, really do. But that story of him and Teresa, when Teresa got sick, she had to quit work. They lost her insurance. They didn't find out she was sick until after she quit and lost her insurance. She went ahead and retired. And then found out she was very, very sick. Matter of fact, Hot Rod wasn't even going to run. He was sitting there beside her bed, and she woke up and said, "What are you doing sitting here? You need to get your butt to them races." And Hot Rod won $50,000. And I don't think there was a dry eye in the house, Wesley, when he won that thing. The last 8 laps, the car came back on the racetrack. His tire and wheel came off. Hot Rod hit it, and his car was towed out so bad when he went to put it in the trailer, they actually had to bend the tie rods to get it to go up in the trailer. It wouldn't even get up in it. It was that wide.
Well, if you thought we were signing off at 10 o'clock, no way, Jose. We are going into overdrive. I'm not going to call it overtime. We're calling it overdrive, Stan Lester, because we have been informed from the founder and CEO of the Fastrak Racing Series that we will be practicing longer than 10 o'clock. As, man, there are over almost 80 cars here is what we're being told here.
That's just fantastic.
As I'm being told things all in my ear going on at the same time and trying to run a broadcast. Aaron Barley and the Machine of Styles beside each other. You're talking about that brim, Stan, and I'm watching it. They hit that brim. It looks like it wants to berm. It wants to push the car up the racetrack.
But what it does,
they got to back off so they don't hit the wall.
Well, what happens is they go in, the right rear catches it, and it wants to jump over the berm and makes the car push. But as you can see, the 28 car Aaron Barley, he's flying on the bottom. Looks like at the bottom of the racetrack. It's really come in well.
14.788, the Maple Fork Missile of Aaron Barley. He loves that nickname, by the way. The Bad Seed nickname's gone, he told me. Don't call him the Bad Seed no more. He likes Missile. I used to call him the Mountain Hope Missile, and I was at Thunder Mountain a couple of weeks ago. He said, "Wesley, I love the nickname you gave me, but it's Maple Fork, West Virginia, just outside of, of Mountain Hope." I said, "Okay, we'll take care of that." But a fast time
So now
for
he's
him.
the Maple Fork Missile?
The Maple Fork Missile.
Not
he
the
said,
Madman
don't call him the Bad Seed anymore.
The Bad Seed.
And there's a story behind that. Robbie Klein could probably tell us more about that.
We got Chris Steele coming up here, Bobby Whitling, Joel Prosser, Ryan Atkins.
Bobby Whitling in a new car.
Yep. Did you see Steve Hendren's new car?
Oh, it's awesome, man.
Man, that's pretty, that 49 car. Hey, Maria, if you can hear us with FK, he's got that 49er on there, honey. He's got that, look at that FK on the hood, just like the 49ers logo. She's going to love that for sure.
Absolutely.
Got Josh Holgraver right there.
The speed freak out on the racetrack. Tim had an interview with him earlier.
The speed freak?
Yes, Brandon Rife.
Oh, is that Brandon?
They call him Speed Freak.
Fantastic. I didn't realize
Called down under the side of that car there.
All right, well, I talked to
that is.
Yeah, I talked to him a little earlier tonight in the pits. He wasn't sure if he was going to get out and practice tonight, so I'm glad to see he got out.
The Pittsburgh Thug out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's Josh Holtzgraver. He's got a couple of wins on the Northeast Tour this year.
And Jessica, if you can hear us out there in Radio Land, how you doing? Hate you're not here. It's Josh's sister. She's always been a big supporter of the Fast Track Series. We appreciate it.
And also, Flatfoot Brandon Umberger, you have a fan of the chat box. Michelle says hello. And to everybody on the number 44W crew, good luck this weekend at the World Championship.
Boy, I hope that's his wife, Wesley. If not, you just got him in big trouble.
Definitely. And again, we are here at Beckley Motorsports Park.
Brandon may not be here tomorrow.
Somebody is coming.
That may have been his last Fast Track event.
Now, Stan, you were just talking about it. What made Steve Hendren? What made Speedy Steve Hendren out of the Rutherfords change his number?
That was the thing with Maria at FK Ride-Ins. Maria's been such a special part of Steve's program and a lot of racers' program. And in the Fast Track Series itself, just what a supporter of short track racing she is. They go out and help a lot of people. That whole company's been fantastic supporting people. And she's a big-time fan of the 49ers. That's her favorite football team, so Steve did that whole car.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are we'll be talking here in just a couple of moments with Robbie Klein with RPMX Motorsports, one of the guys that helped put together the car show that'll be coming up at Smoker Friendly and will actually be our final location for Fast Track Weekly Live. Let everybody know, Stan, that we tried hard. We had talked about possibility broadcasting this race, but the TV is just such more of a bigger production, and basically they have the rights for the deal. But we'll do the tape delay deal like we've done all year.
Well, and the thing we didn't want to do, and certainly not trying to distort any fans as far as the radio goes, but we just didn't know what to expect with the TV. It's our first TV event. You have to be free for it. I have to be free for it. I mean, if they need something, we got to do it right then. And we didn't want to, give the fans in Radio Land a terrible radio show either. So we thought the best thing was to do is we'll just archive it.
Like we've done all year.
Like we've normally done, and they'll be able to listen to it that way. Plus, they are going to get to see it on TV, so it's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. So when I get back to the Fast Track Studios in Four Oaks, I'll of course done like I've done all year, crop it, put the broadcast together, audio, and then by the time that these people reminisce and listen to it, Stan, it'll long be gone by January. They'll be ready to watch, the first ever Fox Sports telecast of the Fast Track Racing Series on dirt.
Yeah, we're talking about doing some more. I mean, we're talking with the production crew this afternoon and talking with Lenny Batiki, and he got out and did some stuff for us this afternoon with Hoosier and FK, some different people in GM, and we appreciate him doing that. And, did some separate spots for us for that, and I think you participated in that.
Yes, sir, I did.
Our thanks to you for that as well. But
I'm honored to do it.
We got a special announcement coming up tomorrow, so maybe we'll get to televise another race here.
All right.
Just never know. I have worked for this TV stuff since 2005. Now, maybe nobody believes anybody works on anything that long.
Right.
That's a long time. And I'm gonna tell you, there were several times when I started to just give up on it, but I thought it would be so good for our race teams, for our sponsors, for our race tracks, for different things that are a part of this whole organization. And yes, Fast Track is the corporate head behind the whole thing, or maybe it's the tail in this case. But without these race teams, and without these weekly tracks, and these great sponsors we have, and the incredible race fans we have, people have come here all the way from Indiana and Ohio and Ontario, Canada, and all over. It's going to be. I just appreciate every one of them. It takes them all to work.
And real quickly, we're going to go back down to pit road as the voice of Beckley Motorsports Park, Tim Howard, has now caught up with, I believe, one of the drivers of the Fast Track Swinny Cars Chevrolet Buick GMC Pace Performance Northeast Series. It is Wayne
Thank you,
Robertson.
Wesley. I'm down here in pits once again with another one of our drivers. This time, who kind of, I guess I could say, make the trip south to be with here at Beckley Motorsports Park. He hails from the state of New York, and I'm speaking with Wayne Robertson. About this. Hey.
I believe we lost him, Wesley.
Yeah, I think, definitely Wayne Robertson. We'll try to catch him again. We lost him, so.
Yeah, Tim, find us Wayne again down there, buddy. We keep your mic pointed this way.
Definitely, and of course we are trying some new stuff here tonight, and it has gone very, very successful, Stan. And of course, I guess you're going to have these kinks and things that happen along the way. But man, I'm just excited again, as about as you are, with what we've got here tonight.
And let me go ahead and give a shout out to Smoker Friendly and to Reagan there. What a great person to absolutely work with. I mean, is it fantastic or not just to have a great person like her? They're going to have some of the TV commercials. They did do some of that stuff. And I'm going to tell you what they paid for, they're going to get 3 or 4 times as much because they're not selling all the inventory. So, little gift to her for supporting this event and the Smoker Friendly. And go and visit your nearest Smoker Friendly store because they did support this race event.
Hey, by the way, as well, as there is still, even though the television production crew is here and the World Championship is here, there's still time to be a part of this first time ever event and milestone for the Fast Track Racing Series and sponsorship. In-car cameras. Call the Fast Track office, 678-935-7304, 678-935-7304. Nobody's there this weekend because we're up here working. Leave a message. Pound 1 for Stan Lester, or no, don't pound 1. Don't literally pound him. I mean, hashtag 1 is good. Oh, look at that move right there, Stan. Blue Connor, the move on the 999 of Blackwell. How about that?
Well, Blackwell had a little problem there in the middle of 3 and 4, and the one car did an awesome job. Is that Feber? Is that Dave Feber out of Wisconsin?
No, actually, Dave Feber is not on the list this year.
Oh, is he not?
David Feber. We had him there last year. Remember he was at Bill Bull's Gap, blew the motor? on that Friday. Rushed back as hard as he could to get another one. And Robbie, we're trying to get you set up here real quickly.
You may just give me his headset.
I know I got this. I want to have all three of us together. I'm just, we're having technical difficulties, but I'm still rocking and rolling at the same time. So I got this, Stan, as we all say. We got this.
Hey, let me say something again, and all you people out there put something on our Facebook page about praying for me, my attitude, the employees, the racers, everybody's attitudes, and for safe racing. And thank you I have no idea how many comments of people praying for this event. Just thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate it. And it's because of that look at this car count right here. I mean, that's what it does. Hey, you know what? Why don't we put Chrissy on here?
I think she's mic shy.
You think she's mic shy?
I think she's mic shy.
Oh, she'll talk, trust me.
She will talk?
She knows how to talk.
We'll have a Battle of the Sexes radio show here from Beckley Motorsports Park. It's my turn. No, it's my turn. Okay, well, we'll just play monkey in the middle, decide who's going to get it. Absolutely. We saw some awesome racing here back in May, and they had Brandon Umberger, Tim Howard did, and of course, do you feel like with him winning that torn event, and we discussed this on the show, nobody raced on this track before until then, and there was still a lot of drivers that were off back then as well. That was a wild race.
Mm-hmm. Quite a good show. Quite a good show. Brandon did a good job. We had some incidental things happen in that event, but it was a great race. Went on Thunder Mountain the next night. It was a great race.
Meadows won that one.
He did. And but I'm going to tell you something. Everything's out the window for this weekend. Everything's out the window. I don't care if you're from this racetrack, whatever the case may be, it's all out the window because you got the best of the best of the best. Not in just the United States, but in these type of cars, the best on this earth. And so anybody can win this event this weekend.
Let's bring in now Robbie Klein, Speed Energy Drink. Robbie Gordon, NASCAR driver, is Stan Lester says charge your batteries. His batteries are fully charged for this event.
What now?
Holtzgrave Racing 00 wants to know who's the fastest so far in the hot laps. Of course, it was that 28 of Maple Fork, West Virginia's Aaron Barley, the Maple Fork Bissell with a 14.778 flying around here. But Robbie Klein, Stan, we're going to bring him on now. Why don't you tell a little bit about how long he's been involved with the Fast Track Racing Series and what they got going on this Saturday that Fast Track Weekly Live will be a part of.
Listen, Robbie and Tony, in 2005, we met, where was it, around Huntington or somewhere we met?
Yeah, it was right outside of Huntington.
Right outside of Huntington. And, I hate to put it this way, but I'll just repeat what Tony says. Remember Stan Lester? He said this would never work in West Virginia.
Never work in West Virginia. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. The World Championships are up here, and 2005, everybody was saying it wouldn't work here in West Virginia. And now what do we got here, 70 cars?
Somebody said 83, somebody said 85. I don't know, man. We lost count.
Tell everybody what you've got going on at the Smoker Friendly store with Fast Track Racing Series, Miss Fast Track, the souvenir trailer, and of course also Robbie Gordon Speed Energy Drink.
Well, pretty much this weekend with the event we're having up here at Beckley this weekend, the Fast Track is having, we have to do events for our sponsors. We like to do events for our sponsors to get their name out, help, show their support, show, that we support their company, support their employees. So we decided we'd have a show at Smoker Friendly here in Beckley, and it just kept snowballing, and now we got Fast Track involved with us. They're going to be down there. You guys are going to come. Miss Fast Track, she's going to be there. We're going to be there from 10 to 1. Handing out,
And I surprised you Tuesday night, didn't I?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, when you announced it, and I really appreciate, what you have done for our race team and for our sponsors, and I can't think of another series that treats their, competitors and the people in the series the way Fast Track does.
Well, the powers that be beside me, Stan Lester, founder and CEO, told me at the last minute, hey, let's make this a big thing. We can't do a live race broadcast because of the doing the TV stuff with Fox, and we never know when you're going to have to do things, and he might have to run off and do stuff as well. Of course, not only doing the Fox stuff today, I had other things with the media. So did Stan with a couple of TV affiliates, a radio station, newspaper. I had to do some stuff with today. So, bottom line is this: he made the decision. Well, we can't do the live broadcast, and I want to let everybody know we had a sponsor, Stan, that was locked in, that wanted to pay a good amount of money to say, "Hey, I want to broadcast audio of the event." And Stan calls me Thursday or Wednesday. He says, "Why do you want to do this audio so bad?" I said, "Well, Stan, dude, we got a good profit here." And he said, "Well, let's do something. Let's get up with Robbie. Let's do ETV. Let's do the Fast Track Weekly live show. Make it longer than an hour. We'll give you more time to talk, Wesley, because we know you won't lose your voice." And we've had a blast. And we're going into overdrive again because we're 9 minutes to 10 o'clock, but according to the boss, we're going longer than that.
We're going to continue to play, baby.
There we go. We can sit here all night.
And hey, Stan's a heck of an announcer. We had a blast at WIF.
Well, if you're from up north, you can't understand a word I say anyway. So. As long as we keep a little enthusiasm going, we're doing fine. You got to be from the south to understand anything, and I get to talking fast, and most of those people can't understand me either.
Hey, talk about just the delicious flavor of Speed Energy drink. And by the way, hopefully landing the endorsement deal of being the spokesperson for Speed Energy drink back at Thunder Mountain Speedway on a very, very long night in the foothills of West Virginia.
When you needed Speed Energy.
When I needed it, it worked, and it did.
Exactly. No, Speed Energy, they're relatively new to the energy drink market. As we all know, Robbie Gordon had, basically he moved his race team from Mooresville into a shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, bought all the stuff to produce this energy drink and to give back, for his race team to other local racers. Basically just caught on with the distributor in West Virginia, and it's taken off from there. They do UTV racing, they do jet skis. In West Virginia, we got the cars of Mike Fakis and Aaron Barley, and proud to have them. Really look forward for big things with Speed Energy, and anything to keep us up. If we can stay awake at Thunder Mountain at 4 in the morning, I think they can keep us awake anytime.
All right, again, let's see. Jeff Curtin, we were going to get him. He actually had to go run back to his car. I think he's going to climb back in behind the wheel and go back to it again. Teddy Tate on the racetrack. Chris Meadows on the speedway. David Smith. I'll tell you what, there goes Lightning Lee Cooper, the number 57 out of Webster, South Carolina.
Just got here.
Stan, can I say something?
As usual.
Let me just say something real quickly. I tried to call every one of the Fast Track drivers. I tried to call every one of the Fast Track. They're stalling me. Just write it down, and I'll announce the time. We're doing a talk show with Stan Lester's Life. So
you did say life, not wife.
Life,
Okay.
not wife.
So if it's a wife, I lost her somewhere.
The life of Stan Lester and Fast Track. No, Chrissy Brooks is our office manager, and she's kind of being me and Stan's statistician right now. So she'll write down the time and it's scoring. Here we go. Eddie Hambrick, ladies and gentlemen, new fast time, 14.740 seconds. And we're definitely talking about that. And of course, we have again reminded everybody numerous times as we're getting ready to go into overdrive that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Do your part in helping find a cure for that dreadful disease that is affecting a lot of families today. And Fast Track Racing Series is proudly happy to join the Susan G. Komen Foundation in the race for the cure. Do your part by going online to www.susangkomen.org today. And
wow, look at Cooper's car. It looks good. Lightning Lee.
And I was going to say that, Stan. You gave me my ESP back again.
Gave him his ESP back again.
I
didn't know I was in control of this.
You got it under control. You got the whole thing going.
That's the same car, Stan Lester, that Lee Cooper had, we thought, destroyed completely back at with Raceway Pro Late Model National.
Oh, it was
destroyed. It wasn't as bad. Well, it wasn't as bad as it seemed because I talked to Lee on the phone. He said when they finally got back and looked at it, they were able to fix it back.
Hey, just wanted to say, I got a text from Maria at FK. Hey, Maria, thank you so much. Appreciate you sending me the text. It was just, wow, heartwarming. Thank you. I appreciate it. We love you. And I did want to say, we were talking about the radio show sponsor earlier.
Yes.
So I want to do this for free. We want to give this to Jason Short, Judy Short at Shortway Real Estate.
Yes.
Now in Whitfield, Virginia. Shortway Real Estate does not. He owned a team forever that raced with Fastrak for years and years and supported the events. He supported Pro Late Model Nationals. Got a car stopped up here at the top of the racetrack. And Jason just calls. He says, "Hey, I want to give $200 for Fast Time, or I want to do this, or I want to do that." It's just that kind of support. He's staying involved with Fastrak. We appreciate that so much. I mean, not a car owner anymore right now. Personally, I don't think he's going to be able to stay away from it, but you know how it is, man. It's like a drug or worse. But we appreciate those folks that do that. So Jason and Judy, this is your show. It's officially been named the Shortway Real Estate Show, along with Speedy Energy Drinks. Smoker friendly. Who's your racing tire? City Chevrolet. Chevrolet Performance. VP Fuel. FK Routing.
He's letting me take a break, folks, so I can just get some wet my whistle, so to speak.
But I can't say it near as good as you, Wes, and I sure can't scream as loud as you do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go real quickly into the pits after this session comes to a close. I believe Tim Howard is roaming along through the pit area, and he will be here in just a second catching up with the driver of that number 22 car of Tate Hughes. As again, Stan Lester, founder and CEO of Fastrak, is up.
Our drivers here tonight. This time I tracked down one of our local guys here to Beckley.
Oh!
For Mr. Tate Hughes.
Not a whole lot of fans up there, but for the few of them that are, I hope they're enjoying the show, and hope everybody comes back tomorrow and we have a good time on Friday night, see some good reps.
What do you think about Fastrak bringing this big event to Beckley Motorsports Park?
Well, I'm glad they did bring it to our local track. You know, it's always been somewhere away from here. We've never got to run on our local track, so I kind of like it being here.
I'd say you do. So you think you might have a little fun this weekend?
I sure hope so. We've been doing a lot of homework during the off weeks, and hope we can lay some good lap times down and qualify tomorrow and start up front and do something with it.
Okay. Well, good luck, Tate. Thanks for being out here with us. Thanks for representing Beckley Motorsports Park. Back to you, Wesley.
Thank you so much, Tim Howard. Again, a great job you're doing down there. The voice of the Beckley Motorsports Park. And see, I'm intersecting, dissecting, put in. Right here. We're running the boards. We're doing the best we can. Anyway.
I'm not going there.
Hey, we are going to have to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, and because we got to thank our sponsors, like you said, Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, Maria, and the fine folks at FK Rod Ends. By the way, if you'd like to be a part of Team FK, like Fastrak drivers David Smith, Chris Ferguson, Ryan Atkins, and many, many more,
long list.
Get in contact with her at www.fk.com and get on the winning edge. We'll take a quick break from Beckley Motorsports Park. We are now going into overdrive because the boss man said so. This is Fastrak Weekly Live presented by FK Rodians and, of course, Jason and Judy Short at Shortway Real Estate Incorporated. And here's their information all about them. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, conveniently located off of intersection I-81 and I-77 in Whitfield, Virginia. Services all of Southwest Virginia in residential, farms, recreational, and commercial properties. The company is owned by Jason and Judy Short. Judy has been in the real estate market for over 15 years and is the broker of Shortway Real Estate. And they have two of the top agents in Southwest Virginia. Their goal is simple, to provide the best customer service and build business on repeat clients. You can get pre-approvals in less than 20 minutes. They have many properties located on over 300 websites nationwide. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customer service guaranteed. And guess what? Licensed in Virginia, they can show you any property listed in the Commonwealth state. They're located at 1205 East Main Street in Whitfield, Virginia. For more details, call 276-223-4018. That's 276-223-4018. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you take the short way home. Join me, Wesley Outland, the voice of Fast Track Racing Series, each and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for Fast Track Weekly Live, presented by FK Rodians on the Fast Track Radio Network. Each week, we will have all the racing news and happenings in the premier Pro Late Model Series in the country of the Fast Track universe, as well as in-depth interviews and the movers and shakers of the Fast Track Racing Series. You can join us with your questions by logging on to fasttrackracing.com and clicking the Fast Track Radio button at the top of the page. Again, that's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Fast Track Weekly Live on the Fast Track Radio Network, the fastest hour on dirt radio.
Owens, Moyer, Burkoffer, Mars, and Davenport all get dirty with FK.
Jimmy Owens wins!
FK Rod Ends is a family-owned American manufacturing company supporting the racing world for 25 years, as their rod ends have helped some of the nation's best dirt late model drivers find victory lane too many times to count.
Lucas Oil Late Model National Champion Billy Moyer!
Dedicated to quality, FK is your answer in the rod end game. So why wait? Get dirty with FK.
For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. FK Rodians sponsors all broadcasts on the Fast Track Radio Network.
Race fans, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please join us in paying tribute to those who have been lost to this dreadful disease and to those who are fighting it still today. Wear some pink to the World Championship in Beckley, West Virginia this weekend and during the rest of October to promote awareness. Fast Track Companies International proudly supports the Susan G. Komen for a Cure Foundation in its quest to promote early detection and treatment and finally to find a cure to breast cancer. Go to www.susangkomen.org to join the race for a cure.
Welcome back. Oh, man, we are having a fun time here. Aren't we, Stan Lester? Are we having a great time, boss?
We are. It's, I tell you what, I'm on cloud nine right. Wesley, you know what time I was up this morning?
I haven't slept any.
I've been up at 3:15. I got up and, of course, you know what I was doing. There was a race on TV, so I watched it at 3:15. Matter of fact, Jerry, he was over across the room. He looked up, he said, "Is that a race on TV?" So we at 3:15 this morning, we were watching races. No, we don't have the disease at all.
And welcome to, again, special Fast Track Weekly Live coverage, the fastest 3 hours plus on dirt radio, because according, now it's been about an hour or so ago from the founder and CEO joined beside me right now, Carnesville, Georgia's Stan Lester, that we are going into overtime. We're already 4 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock, and we hope everybody hangs in there. And tell them the reason why, Stan. The people are like, I thought we were doing it at 10 o'clock.
So many cars. These guys all deserve some track time. And we were planning on maybe 30, maybe 40 cars being here for open practice tonight. I mean, it's a Thursday. And these guys work for a living. And so, I mean, we got twice that amount. So, obviously the right thing to do. And it's just to extend the time and go on a little longer. We just want to make sure everybody gets in a decent amount of time. Ready to go for the biggest race of the year.
And again, of course, you hear the sound of the cars. Don't you just love that? It's like we're down on the racetrack, ain't it? So many people say they love it. It's like they're right there.
Well, that's fantastic. That's good to hear. Nice. That's a nice cut.
You wanted a question? Is there a URL for scoring at the track where fans can put in at home to see timing and scoring?
I don't think that's going to be any problem to do that tomorrow. We'll give a Brad Hockaday. Brad Hockaday owns Professional Motorsport Solutions. He is here himself this weekend. There's a lot of things, a lot of touches we're adding. We'll try to get that information for you tomorrow. Is Brad over there?
Yes, he is. Well, he was. He's left the building.
Okay.
Brad Hockaday has left the building.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he gets back up here, if there'll be a URL. But we'll do our best to get you one on there.
Hey, real quickly, Robbie, let's bring you back into there. Talk a little bit about the RPMX Motorsports teams of Mike Fakis. Unofficially right now, we have to say that unofficially, the Beckley Motorsports champion for 2012, and then also the 228 of Aaron Barley out of Clear Fork, West Virginia, winning the championship at Thunder Mountain.
Exactly. This year for RPMX, it's been wonderful. We've been associated with Mike Fakis for the past 5 years. We've had our ups and downs with racing, just racing luck. Mike was sick. Basically, we were thrilled to be where we are here at Beckley with point situation. With Aaron Barley, we started sponsoring Aaron this year. Him and Bobby have been great to work for. The sponsors just love him. So this year with the Thunder Mountain Championship, it's just really been a great season for RPMX. Probably our best season that we've had in the last 9 years. We'll be going 10 years next year. So Tony and I don't feel that old, but we really want to thank all of our supporters that we've had, all the drivers that we've had, and just hope to continue doing what we're doing, and hope to have a back-to-back championship next year.
You may not be that old, but Tony is.
Yeah, Tony wears me out, but he keeps me on my toes.
Hey, we're going to go. We will be right back here in just a moment with, again, Robbie Klein from RPMX Motorsports, and also, of course, Stan Lester, founder and CEO of the Fastrak Racing Series, as we continue along with our coverage here in overdrive of the Fastrak Weekly Live Show presented by FK Rodians and, of course, Jason and Judy Short as Shortway Real Estate Incorporated. Real quickly, let's go to pit road. And Tim Howard. Tim Howard is with the 2006 inaugural World Grand Nationals champion, Hot Rod Le Mans from 6 Miles, South Carolina. Let's go to him right now.
Wake up, Tim.
We'll get him here in just a moment. We got to bless Tim's heart. He's been there in there for 2 hours getting driver in. I think we probably got about 15 interviews so far.
You sure it ain't got nothing to do with all them wires you got your feet tangled up in over there?
I am trying to prevent myself from tripping. So
that was a nice little move you made a minute ago. You had 2 feet in there and slide along the floor and you back.
For him this weekend. And what do you think about being here at Beckley Motorsports Park?
Well, get things tuned in. Real pushed weekend with all these 3 races going on and all the qualifying and heat races, and with just one car trying to keep it together, and just hopefully we'll have good luck and finish well in all of them.
I tell you, what do you think about Beckley so far?
So far, I see it can be a racy little place. Right now, we're having a little problem with a few holes out there. My car's bottoming out on me. I've got a bad car that the frame rail's pretty low anyway. We dragged the paint tracks down home, so we're having a little problem getting through the holes, but maybe we can get it worked out before qualifying.
The way your crew looks like they're working on that car, I think they're going to get it worked out.
I think so. I think we'll be in good shape. Tomorrow the track's going to be totally different from today, so maybe it'll come to us more than us going to it.
Well, I tell you that.
all right, thank you so much, Tim Howard. Of course, that was the inaugural champion of Hot Rod Le Mans, Stan Lester.
I tell you what, just fine man right there. Really like Hot Rod. Him and Teresa both, great people. Glad to have them associated with us, as are a lot of the families here. I had so much fun this afternoon going up pit road. Chris went with me. We were in the UTV, just going up and down, talking to people. Just had a blast, man. I bet we talked to 50, 60 teams, just aggravating each other, having a good time. And the camaraderie in this type of racing is what this racing is all about.
Exactly.
Well, again, of course, it is a special edition of Fastrak Weekly Live. Robbie Klein, again, tell everybody the location where it's going to be if there's people tuned into the broadcast and they're in the West Virginia area. The bottom line, like Stan Lester said, you need to be here.
Exactly.
You need to be here for the entire deal.
The whole event. The smoker friendly that we'll be having this at will be on Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley at Neil Jean Square, and it's going to run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Like I said, Aaron Barley, Mike Fakis, Tyler Cox, more fast track drivers. Cars are going to be out. We're going to have Speed Energy Drink is going to come out, and Speed Energy Drink, this will be our debut in West Virginia in a chain store.
Really?
Smoker Friendly has picked them up.
All right.
I don't know if it was me picking on Reagan.
One of your own cars, Robbie Klein, RPMX Motorsports number 6 with a 14.442. Mike Fakis race fans. Now, the new fast car in hot lap, Stan and Robbie.
Wow, I mean, that's awesome. Mike has just been all year up here at Beckley, just flying. We couldn't be more prouder, to have Mike representing RPMX and Smoker Friendly and Speed Energy and Aqua Clear. Just phenomenal job. He's been hooked up all night along with Aaron. Aaron's been hooked up too. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have 2 cars out here this weekend, and I hope we have a good weekend.
And for those of you that may not know what the term hooked up means, it has nothing to do anything out of the way. It means having a lot of traction on the racetrack.
A lot of traction going forward.
Going forward. That's very good. Very good.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct. Of course, Mike Fakis is now the new fast man out there on the 3/8 mile fastest bull ring in the south of Beckley Motorsports Park. I don't have to worry about that cord no more now.
I wonder if he's been drinking his speed tonight.
Evidently so. We were having I was kind of working on the racetrack earlier, and of course I saw Mike out there, and then I pulled him down the inside. I said, I want you to go out there and run. I said, you've got a lot of experience here. When you get through, you come back here and tell me what the racetrack needs. He said, we just need to iron it out really good. So I immediately went over there and got every car we could and lined them up 3 wide all the way around this racetrack. We ran them around for about 10 minutes. And sure enough, he was right. That's how good he is here.
Yeah. Very good.
I took credit for that earlier, too.
You got it. All of this is you. This is all Stan Lester.
Yeah. See, I let everybody tell me good ideas, and I just take credit for it.
Hey, Robbie, but what did we talk about Tuesday night for like almost 2 hours about this whole event?
Just everything, just how big it's going to be. Just, I told Wesley, I was like, like I told you on the phone, I was like, 80 to 100 cars. Everybody was talking about, maybe 60, maybe 40, but I said, this place is going to be straight packed this weekend.
I just thought of something. 71 was our highest car number we've ever had. We've already broken it for practice.
Wow.
71
Awesome.
was the highest car number we've ever had for a race event.
So this is a new record.
We have broken it with practice. With practice.
A new car record.
Yeah.
How come we just can't say it like Tom Carnegie did with the new track record, but a new car record for the Fast Track Racing Series.
That's right. Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic.
This is just, I just had a feeling that when this whole deal come together, it was just going to set up to be a special weekend. And Stan, can we just say that it took a lot of effort? Me, you, Robbie, Jerry, Chrissy, Mary Kay, Kelly Carlton, Rusty, CJ, Tater Riser, so many, all these officials,
Donna,
Billy Joe,
Keith and Donna.
Yes.
Come help us in the souvenir trade.
Exactly.
We couldn't do it. These are neighbors that we have talked into racing, and now we just harass them all the time until they feel guilty. And they have
He's
to
behind us right now. So.
They were actually going on vacation. They were going to Outer Banks. They were leaving last Sunday, but you see where they are, right?
But I got a question, though, Stan. Awesome. Can you bring it in here? My luggage.
Somebody doing something with their luggage.
Yeah. I don't want to have my luggage stolen, Stan. It's got all the clothes and everything in it.
Well, I don't want you to have it stolen either.
We can talk about some
I'll
luggage.
definitely have to be running around here topless tomorrow for Friday night fights. And I mean really topless. We are going into overtime. And, of course, there goes Jimmy Schilt's dirty wrap. The number 4, Michael Smith, is out there on the racetrack. Jeff Curtin from Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Stan, he came here.
Michael Smith's here. He just got here. It's his first time on the racetrack. I'll be nice. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's his first time out on the track. Or is that Taylor Hicks you're talking about?
That is actually Taylor Hicks out of Gaffney,
Well, who's
South
this other
Carolina.
four? Who's the other four car? This is the first time this full car has been on the racetrack at all.
Right.
Still getting new people coming in. Somebody's got a video.
Jerry Broyles, David Smith, they're all out there.
Who is it? Richard?
And of course,
you gonna put this on YouTube?
man, you can feel the excitement in the air. Mike Fakis, of course, the quickest car so far. If you heard what we were talking about. Down to the inside goes Aaron Barley. And hey, Robbie, we just talked about it. It's now the checker flag falls in another session. Who was fast? Mike Fakis. Aaron Barley.
Aaron Barley.
And they own these tracks. They run these joints. Can I say that?
Pretty much. Hey, that's what we like to say. We always use our sponsors in this. We always say that they have the speed to smoke them friendly. So I guess they're doing that tonight here in practice.
Absolutely. You know what gets me, Stan, is we still have the entire pit area full. It is going on 10:15 at night. For normal practice night, you'd be packing up, done, going home. Wouldn't even see these many cars. Fans are still in the grandstands. I mean, and here comes another group of the best drivers of the Premier Pro Late Model Series in the country.
5 o'clock this afternoon, Joe came to me. He said, I don't know where I'm going to park it, but. He said, we should have parked them closer, shouldn't we? I said, yeah, should have parked them closer. Richard Ford here from Speedway Videos. He is going to post a video from tonight, some open practice. For you race fans, go to our Facebook page, the Fastrak Facebook page. He's going to post something on there from YouTube. Just some clips of tonight's practice to let everybody see what's going on, because there's cars out there without tops, with tops. Yeah. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the cars. Lord knows I wouldn't want to see some of these guys without tops. But Richard,
I was going to say something else, but I'm not.
No, please don't. Please don't. But I appreciate Richard taking the time to do that. He's been here all day, you know, and as have all the people. Do you realize that the time-lapse camera they put up is on top of that billboard out there beside the interstate?
Really?
Yes.
It's been taken. Everything that's happened here all day is on that time-lapse camera.
It's got the sunrise, the sunsets, definitely, and they're going to use it. According to Mario and Conrad, they're definitely going to use it, and definitely, I'm telling you, it just makes the excitement hype even more whenever Fox Sports South and all the different regions cover, and the Fox networks cover the Fast Track Racing Series. And Stan, this is a new venture for Fox. Fox Sports, because they've never done dirt racing before. Never until Fast Track.
Have they not?
Have they not?
Happy dang. Well, that's good.
Of course, you know, the big boys, CBS done the Lucas Oil program, and of course, you got your Munster Jam on dirt, but nothing like I've always said this. I like the Fast Track Racing Series because it's a level playing field. There's no room for error. It's about the tire compound you choose on the car, the way you set that car up, and how much adversity and determination is for the driver inside that car, because that's the only 3 keys of getting to victory lane when it's all said and done. It's not because one guy's motor's souped up than another guy's that you see in the super world. And Stan, we've talked about that in a lot of super races. Whoa, Chris Steele getting sideways. He about got in front of Frankie Beard in turn number 2 as they were getting ready to come down to the cool-down lap. As the man of steel, Chris Steele, Stan, no stranger to running on Fast Track as well.
I see Iceman down on the bottom too now.
The Iceman. You gave him that new. I said, Jordan,
I got tired of
you're
ice
no
water.
longer Ice Water. You have now moved up to Iceman.
Yeah, I can't think about no ice water. Makes me thirsty.
He said, now I've got to find me a guy named Maverick.
Maverick.
But I got to find a driver with the nickname Maverick. Top Gun.
We'll make one. We gave him his name.
Exactly. Definitely.
Who's going to be Maverick this weekend? Let's find somebody.
So many firsts, Stan. You said the first ever biggest car count we've ever had.
Broke a record. And this is open practice on
Fox
Thursday.
broadcast, the Fox tape delay broadcast in January.
I'm not sure what that sign was, but it looked pretty radical.
Right, the fast time. We'll have a new fast time here in a minute, I'm pretty
I
certain.
couldn't tell if you was waving a flag or you had bugs under your arms.
I have just been informed by Kelly Carlton, it is 82 cars.
80.
And a bulk of the guys that they haven't got here yet, the guys that I've been looking for. Am I right, Rob?
Right, exactly. I mean, like we said, like I said the other night, 80 to 100 cars, and right now for open practice, 82 cars. That's unbelievable.
Listen.
82 cars, Stan Lester.
You would not believe the flack I caught when I changed this format. When we got away from our national weekly style championship. But the guys that were at the weekly tracks, number one, the guys at the weekly tracks weren't getting anything.
No.
Because some of them could not come to this event.
Exactly.
And some of them didn't feel competitive in the Grand National event. And some of them could make 3 different races. So now we're paying the top 3 at each weekly track.
Right.
They're
Right.
members. They got to be members.
Exactly.
Pay top 3 at each track at points. At the banquet, it'll be at our banquet in Nashville in October. This is October, right? In January, I think. Where's Chrissy go? January. And then, on top of that, now they have their own venue to run at the World Championship.
Right.
They get a chance to run for it
Exactly.
if they qualify and get in it, and they have their own national championship for the weekly guys too. So it's thank you, Lord, that this worked, because boy, my butt was on the line.
And we're definitely having a great time. Overdrive here on the Fast Track Radio Network. And Stan Lester, 6 different networks now. As the Teddy Take It Sideways, the Royal Retreat Virginia native, and a new car. Back in black for 2012.
He ain't been out
Stan, he
here
had
all
a blue
night.
car last year.
He ain't been out here all night, has he?
He ain't made one session.
One session. Anyway, back to that. I mean, as we all know, I'm not much of an in-the-box thinker. And I think out of the box happened to work this time. Tonight, it's great. You know, this weekend is great, and man, I'm so pleased.
It's only the start too. I mean, this weekend, I mean, just around this area, you just don't understand the hype this event is just bringing to dirt racing. It's unbelievable, and just to be a part of it is just unbelievable. I mean, and not in a million years would I think, you know, RPMX Motorsports would be on a national stage racing for, you know, what we're racing for this weekend. It's unbelievable. I mean, just your entry fee. That's all you had to do. Come out here, run 12 races, and you can be a part of this.
Well, yeah.
Stephanie Hatfield Burkhead just sent me a text message. Met her at Thunder Mountain a couple of weeks ago, and she says that she's absolutely enjoying this this talk amongst us 3 men. She said it's better than a afternoon talk show on television. So Rory, eat your heart out. Jerry Springer.
I hope she ain't talking about Oprah. That wouldn't be much of a compliment. But no, it's I really was. I was under a lot of pressure with some of the weekly tracks and some of our corporate people and whatnot that just didn't believe in the format. And I talked to some tracks on the way up here today, you know, up in the northeast part of the country, and they just weren't sold that this was going to be the right deal. And listen to this.
Hey, but do you think they're sold now?
I hope so. I hate to gloat, but I might have to for a little while. Yes, it's not. No, I would never do that. But I'm going to tell you something. It is absolute being so proud. I don't mean pride. I mean being so proud of not what I've done, but of what y'all have done and what these guys have done. Is great.
Okay, I've been informed that we are going to finish out what cars we have in the overflow at the exit chute, and then practice will be over.
So we got another 30 minutes. That was good.
We got about one or two more sessions left, and then practice will come to an end.
The track's really come around nicely too. It really has. Got some Beckley officials down on the speedway right now. Well, Robbie, where is Tony anyway?
Well, Tony, thankfully, is at home tonight in bed. He'll be here early tomorrow. So
that's a good.
It's kind of a last. Oh yeah,
good place for him to be.
Oh, Tony, yeah, it is a good place. You know,
I love Tony, man.
He's just Tony's Tony. If you don't know Tony, he's one of a kind.
He'll call me every once in a while and go, Stan Lester, remember this ain't gonna work in West Virginia now.
I remember where that meeting was. It was actually down it was down near Thunder Mountain, and I remember the people standing up and saying, "This will never work here in West Virginia."
Yeah, And it cost me a lot of money back then to do that.
If my producer back in Indianapolis could do something for me real quickly, John Wesley, and of course our thoughts and prayers are still with J.D. Webb from Chino, California, the backbone behind ETV Live Online Network. And of course, I want to remind you, are you mobile? Get the app. If not, you can get it on different phones, including Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, and many, many more. The Apple iPhone 5 as well. Go to your app store, put in ETV Live Radio, HD Radio Network, Tuned In Radio, iTunes Radio, and of course Fastrak Radio Network on Ustream. And I want you, John Wessling, to show the clip of show the palette that we put together last night at like 11 o'clock at night before I had no sleep coming up here of the one for smoker friendly. I wanted to show that to Robbie Klein, who was here. It's again, that will be coming up here this upcoming Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock. And I understand, Robbie, I've been in contact with you about trying to get some big monitors set up. Here's the thing. We're in an enclosed area here. We're going to be outside on Saturday. And there it is right there. What's going to be put together. We're also going to get one done, Stan, with Miss Fastrak Chelsea Smith. This is just the concept of what it is. But basically,
this is a picture of you.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't shut down their server. But in all seriousness, though, we're going to try to get the monitors because here's the thing: we're enclosed right now. We're going to be outside in an environment where there's going to be a lot of fans interaction going on. Fans signing autographs with the drivers, meeting the drivers, getting pictures made, meeting Stan, meeting Miss Mary Kay, and getting souvenirs. By the way, I want to remind you, if you're coming to the races this weekend, we now have the ability to accept credit or debit cards for the events. Normally in the past, we just do cash and carry only. Now we've going to be able to do cash, credit card, and debit cards.
So no more buying one T-shirt, you got to buy 10.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something. We've had that souvenir thing here since 3 o'clock today, the souvenir wagon down in the pits. We service the pits during the practice night before the World Championship or Grand Nationals. And there's some shirts that's already sold out.
Really?
Hoodies that's already sold out. I mean,
Unbelievable.
There's some sizes that are gone. So you fans, you get here tomorrow as early as you can to make sure you get your best choice, best color available. There's a dark gray, and there's a pink, and there's a black, and something else. There's another.
Hey, let's go down to pit road real quickly. Stan Lester. By the way, the producer agrees. He says he's ugly, ain't he, Stan? Face only a mother could love. About me, I guess.
I'd have to talk to your mom and see.
Hey, let's go to pit road as I believe right now Tim Howard is in the pits and he's about to catch a word with the driver of the number 88 car. The driver of the number 88 machine resides, of course, out of Union, South Carolina. We call him the little head knocker, Trent Ivy, and Tim Howard's got him in the pits.
And this time down here in the pits, I've located another one of our drivers that's came up from Union, South Carolina to be with us. And I was looking earlier at some of the cars on the track and around the pits that had the pink on them for breast cancer awareness. And Trent had his spoiler, looks like painted pink, but he's already got it almost all off. Trent, what do you think about coming up here to Beckley Motorsports Park?
I tell you, man, we come up here earlier in the year, and I absolutely love the racetrack. And tonight it's turned out to be a little bit different, but I don't know. We're not too fast, but I'm sure we can pick it up by tomorrow's race.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's going to be a big weekend. Does the car count here surprise you?
Considering last year there wasn't 30-something cars, and now there's 65 here just practicing. So, yeah, but I'm glad he's got a good turnout. I think it'll make things a lot more fun and interesting.
Okay, well, sure glad to have you here with us in Beckley. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Trent Ivy. Wesley, back to you in the tower.
Hey, thank you so much again, Tim Howard and Stan Lester. You just heard that on the thoughts of a young man that just started a couple of years in this sport, and his dad's truly a legend in super late model racing, the head knocker, Petey Ivy.
Just really glad to have them along with us. Petey and I become friends. I appreciate Petey so much. He ran with us in the Ultimate Super Late Model Series as well. Trent is really, if there's a most improved driver, I guess we'd have to say it'd be Trent, because he has really come a long, long way. He's got a hold of that race car and doing a heck of a job with it. these cars keep getting faster, don't they, Wesley?
Yes, sir, you're exactly right. And of course, if you missed the announcement, it is a new car count record for the Fast Track Racing Series. 82 Fast Track Warlords with a kaleidoscope of different colors making their way around here, giddy up and galloping around the bull ring of
82
Beckley.
is all we know about. We don't know what we might
There
have
could
missed.
be more.
It's dark out there. It could be 90 cars out there. But just fantastic. Yeah.
And definitely, it looks like that is the end of the practice sessions for all of the drivers. There goes Chad Knight, the 42 car. We've had him on the Fast Track Weekly Live Show. He won a race up there.
Clay Knight.
Chad Knight up north. He won a race a couple of weeks ago for the Northeast Series. And just talk about that, Stan. And before we close, because we are done with practice, ladies and gentlemen, so it is time to say goodbye. Southeast, Mid-East, Mid-Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region in New York and Canada. Just talk about how that is just combined all for this one weekend.
Guys have come here from everywhere. I mean, they really have. Again, they've surprised me. This makes me want to do more for them. You know what I mean? This is what drives me to do more. When I see them support us like this, then I'm going to go out and do more for them. There is no doubt about it. And I'm one of those guys. You're probably not going to outgive me. I just like to kind of live things that way, and if they'll do this, we put it out there. They came and supported it. Well, there's going to be a big race here over the winter that we're announced tomorrow night. So that's one more thing we're due for them. We're considering maybe even televising it too. So there's some big things going on.
Let me just it isn't the idea that Joe tried to offer to me last year talking about doing a race even if there was snow on the ground.
Oh, no, we ain't racing in snow. No, nothing like that. No, it's going to be an exciting announcement. It's a place everybody dreams of racing at. It's going to be a great, great time.
And that's going to be announced tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Robbie, real quickly before we close out, man, definitely a pleasure having you on here tonight, buddy, and again, big thanks to you for helping build this car show up because, Stan likes to do these kinds of things. We done that quality foods one in Toccoa, Georgia at the Summer Heat 40 back on July 28th.
Shut the town of Hartwell down one time and did
yes,
a parade
it did.
there.
Right. Absolutely. And it just gives that chance for, people driving by and they see the car say, Daddy, what is that? Or Mama, let's go check this car out. Exactly. Well, hey, come to the racetrack. You really like these cars, just seeing them clean, wait till you get them on here and you see them when they get dirty on the track racing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we do this every year. Like Stan, we do a car show in March every year. And
got our first Miss Fast Track from
First Miss Fast Track. Paula Dunn was at our car show. And that's just one thing we like to do. Just give out to the fans, and with our sponsors, it's more than just sticking a name on the car. It's getting out there and showing the fans what the sport's all about. And, we enjoy doing it. Smoker Friendly's very excited, and Speed Energy's very excited. So I think Saturday we're going to have a real good turnout. Invite all the fans to come out, all the touring drivers. If you want to come out, we'd love to have you. If you can bring your cars, just bring some stuff to sign for the fans. Just meet the fans, and let's just have a good time and get ready for this event Saturday night. And guys, before I get offline, just got a text. I got a 10-year-old at home. I just want to say hi to RJ. They're listening. My son, he's still up. You need to get to bed.
Definitely. And Stan, he mentions Smoker Friendly where the car show is going to be. And again, the Fast Track Weekly Live Show will be on location from 10 to 1 again. But they jumped on board with the television deal. And then look at what so much has happened for them just coming on right there at the last minute.
Oh, I tell you, and I think they're going to be surprised at the results they get out of it. And as you said earlier, it's not too late to do this. It's not too late to get involved. It's not too late at all because it's going to be a tape-delayed deal. I mean, if somebody's out there and they're listening and they got a company or something they think wants to be involved, you call my cell phone and talk to Chrissy, 706-244-2732, and I never give that number out, as you well know. But Chrissy's got my phone this weekend, so it's safe. It's 706-244-2732. We're not asking for payment now. We're not asking for any of that now. We're asking for the commitment We'll send you some paperwork, get you to sign it back. We'll have you on the air this weekend. I mean, we do it just that fast. There's a couple in-car camera spots left. There's nothing any better. We're going to have the best in-car camera shots there's ever been in dirt racing. Trust me. We're going to put one on the left rear of the car where it moves back and forth. We've already got it set up. I got the cameraman so excited I thought he was going to pee in his
I
pants.
saw you at one point when I got there doing my Fox production stuff with Lenny. I saw you up under the car. I was like, what is he doing here? He's like, now this is where the camera's going to go. That's all we're going to say. Well, Stan, I know that we've had a bunch of listeners. What do you want to say to them for all the new people on the ETV6 networks?
I appreciate you very much. That I can assure you there's no racing promoter in this country that appreciates you any more than I do. Wish we could do this live for you on there. We're not going to be able to do that. I hate it. I really do hate it, but at least you'll be able to listen to it on the archive and be able to watch it on Fox Sports over the winter in January. First two shows, we know the dates of those are January 21st, 28th. And I have the other two in the contract. For the life of me, I can't remember. But we'll get those times. They are, I don't know, first, second week of February. But we were sure they would be on before the Daytona 500. But again, we thank you very much. And Wesley, appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Always good to see you, brother. Thanks for your help on things. Got to get out to meet Reagan. She said she wasn't going to be out to her this afternoon. She said she wasn't going to be able to make it, but they are sending some people out. Got their stuff set up for them, and we'll call. Any tracks are out there, Fastrak Weekly Sanctioned Tracks, sponsors, any of that. Souvenir trailer will be set up in front of the press box tomorrow. That will be the Will Call trailer. So go by there, pick up your package and your tickets, and look forward to having you here.
And before we sign off for our broadcast here tonight from Thunder Mountain Speedway, we're going to throw it down to Mr. Tim Howard with one final guest. And he put down a pretty good lap here tonight. He knows this track very, very well. From Crab Orchard, West Virginia, 2 fast track wins on the year. One at With Raceway, and the other one in the number 33 machine for Brony Motorsports was at Thunder Mountain Speedway at the first time visiting there back in May. Tim Howard is with Smokin' Crankin' Chris Meadows.
Thank you, Wesley. I'm down here. I've tracked down another one of the drivers down here. These guys are hard to track down. They've been wanting to get every lap they can get out here on this track, and I even catch a few of them between their snacks that they're having in between. But with me now down here, I've got the driver of the number 33 car. A lot of people just know him as the Mountaineer Man, but I'm going to call him Chris Meadows. Chris, what do you think about Beckley Motorsports Park this weekend?
I believe there's going to be a lot of cars here, I believe.
I'll tell you, what's the track look like out there? You've been out there a few times.
The track was a little heavier at the start, and it sort of cleared out there towards the end, got pretty racy, you know. I mean, go really anywhere you wanted to, just like typical Beckley, you know.
Well, that's it. There's a lot of cars here from all over the country. You think you got anything for them this weekend?
I don't know. There's about 80 cars probably could win this race. They're all pretty tough.
Well, okay, Chris. Glad you took time out of your night to speak with us here. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you now. I appreciate you being here.
All right, Wesley, I'm going to send it back up to you.
Actually, I'm going to throw it right back down to you again, Tim Howard, because we are coming to sign-off time. Give your final thoughts of this special Fast Track Weekly Live practice edition here presented by FK Rod Ends and, of course, Shortway Real Estate. Your final thoughts and your commentary on what you've seen in the pits tonight. All right, I was trying to throw it to Tim Howard. Tim Howard, can you give us your final thoughts on practice here tonight, buddy? If you are ready. Okay, I was going to let him give his final thoughts of how things have gone, but I guess he has now cut the mic off and signed off, and we are going to do the same thing as well, man. What a great time we've had here. Great time had by all. A new Fast Track car count record. 71, as Stan Lester did say a couple of years ago. Tonight, 82. That's just for practice. That's not even for Friday night fights tomorrow, or, of course, the Fast Track $250,000 World Championship Saturday. For everybody here at Fast Track Companies International. Big thanks to executive producer in Indianapolis, Indiana, Mr. John Wessling, for producing the show here. Magic Fingers, or me call him Fast Track as well. What a perfect nickname for Fast Track event. Remember, smoker friendly, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Robbie Williams is going to be there. All the great stuff is going to be there. Stan Lester, Billy Joe, Joe Jackson might take over the headset again and join us one more time. And, of course, we're going to work on getting the big monitor so you can hear us all the way going towards another part of the country. So wanted to get that last commercial in there about the breast cancer. But it's been a good one. We appreciate everybody for listening all over the country on the 6 different networks. We'll do it again on Saturday, 10 a.m. For Stan Lester, Chrissy Brooks, Kelly Carlton, Billy Joe, Joe Jackson from Beckley Motorsports Park, I am Wesley Outland, the Public Relations Director and the voice of the Fast Track Racing Series. As always, good night and God bless from Prosperity, West Virginia, and the fastest dirt track in the South of 3/8, Beckley Motorsports Park. The World Championship weekend of 2012 is here. Thanks for listening. God bless. The announcement everybody was waiting for came Labor Day weekend.
Well, for the first time ever in history, the World Championship will be in West Virginia at Beckley Motor Speedway.
October 4th, 5th, and 6th, get ready for televised coverage of the Fast Track World Championships. Paying $250,000 for ticket pricing, general information, parking, and much, much more. Go to fasttrackracing.com or BeckleyMotorsports.com. Be there October 4th through the 6th.